Hey, Shortcake.
Uncle Jesse, can you help me with this video game?
Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. Video games never really been my thing. Now, pinball. There's a game.
What's pinball?
What's pinball? You don't know what pinball is? Haven't you ever heard of Tommy?
Who?
Right.
How check. Let's start. TalkRadar 103. Yay, leftovers. Oh, in this podcast we have top 7 terrible stuff and sequels. Roaring start. I want to talk a little bit about Galaxy. We have another shirt to give away from SplitReason.com. It's a Mega Man shirt and it rules.
Oh dear.
We'll tell you who won the Mighty Kong shirt later on. And we also have an expert on. I call you an expert, but he's also one of my childhood buddies, who I guess I use some non-executive privilege to get on the show. Hi.
Hey.
We're going to call you Spicules, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
You may have heard of Spicules. I tell tale of Spicules. That's your forum. That's your forum online handle.
Yeah, MPT.
It's not racist. It's sort of like Spicules.
I am Hispanic, so I can kind of get away with it. But you can't call me that.
That is true. I wish Dan was here so we can just create Spick and Dan. The show. Off to an editable start. Who else do we have? I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Brett Elston.
Hi, Brett.
Hi.
Tyler Wilde.
Hi, Tyler Wilde.
Hi.
Hi, Tyler. How's everybody doing and such?
Good.
No? We don't want any banter before we run into this?
I'm enjoying Red Dead Redemption.
I know, all you assholes are playing Red Dead Redemption. Is anybody here playing Mario Galaxy other than me?
I started it, and then I got like about 10 stars, and then I want to play more Red Dead.
Really?
And even, I
just won't touch Red Dead until I'm done with Galaxy.
Yeah, Galaxy's probably the quicker thing to get through. But it is tough going back and forth between the game that, even though Galaxy looks fantastic, when you go back and forth between that and something like Red Dead, you're like, oh, right. I really wish Nintendo would have made a different decision 6 years ago.
I got through the first 50 stars in a single night. And then
Jesus Christ.
Once it came time to do the Prankster Galaxies and the purple coin bullshit.
Yeah, purple coin is always hard.
Those are designed to cut holes in your dick. Oh, that is a mean.
I had to get all 120 stars in Galaxy for that guide.
Which I did, and I remember it was difficult. But this, like, right from the beginning, those pranksters. I haven't even opened up the last 3 worlds.
Right.
They're terrible, and they take. We'll get into that a little later because we have what, Tyler? What do we have this week?
Things.
What do we usually talk about every Monday?
Top 7.
There you go.
We write it.
Top 7. Spicules, you looked at our top 7 at least, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What was it? What was it called? Sequels that improved nothing by
David
Houghton?
David Houghton, Games Better UK.
Howdy T. And
Howders.
And sequels that improve nothing, and I actually really, even the entries I disagree with, I just like the premise of this, like sequels that solely exist to make another game in the franchise.
Pretty much. An unnecessary addition. A lot of these for the sake of, so we don't have an HD version of this game yet, do we?
Yeah, I guess that was...
Such as number 7.
Number 7. Yes.
Every week
Shut
I
up.
forget those happen.
No.
Soul Calibur 4. Which I don't know.
Number 4.
Sorry.
This is one I kind of just have to assume that this is correct because I was a Soul Calibur fan, but didn't play... Well, played 1 and 2, didn't play 3, so I don't know... But I did play 4, so I don't know what happened with 3 at all. So I don't know if this really didn't improve anything other than what, He does do a good job of saying the attempted improvements. They had these critical finishers, they added the Star Wars characters. But, yeah, as far as the gameplay goes, I mean, it always had the swords clashing and kind of deflecting. And
it had breakable armor or something like that?
There was a lot of customization, but yeah, I didn't play 3, so I don't know.
And he said, I remember we had a character creators contest when somebody made fucking like Galactus.
Somebody made Galactus and it was fantastic.
And he said Houghton said that features from 3 were stripped out of the character customization for 4.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but it does seem a little unnecessary to strip down your new game.
I do think that, I mean, I'm not a big Soul Calibur, I was more of a Tekken Street Fighter guy, but I do think that I heard from a lot of people that, I don't know if in 3 they had the internet play, but I heard that it was really good on Soul Calibur, and that's kind of impressive for, I mean, at that time, nothing was really doing 3D internet at all, and if they were, it was doing it terribly. So I don't know that
in terms of fighting games.
In terms of fighting games, just because they're, the latency is so critical.
Yeah,
and
I think all they had at the time was maybe Virtua Fighter 5, and it was kind of notoriously not great.
Yeah, so that may have been something that evolved, but again, I didn't play 3 from 4, so they might have had that in 3. But
you're we should say you're a huge fighting game fan.
Yeah,
all those stories I tell about fighting games and basement Marvel vs. Capcom Counter-Strike matches. That's the guy sitting across from me right now. Worlds have collided.
I did modify a Killer Instinct cabinet to play PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast and PlayStation 2 so that we could play Marvel 2, get an import copy to play it in our basement. So I mean, yeah, I'm pretty into the fighting games, and as far as I know, Soul Calibur 4 was
do you still
one
have
of those evolved things, but
I could
be wrong.
We figured out you could customize your own tracks in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh yeah.
And do you still have my mix?
No, burn CDs, they die in like 6 months of
the
3
character
days.
select screen was Sanford and Son.
Yeah, that got a lot of airtime, I will say.
Yeah,
it was great. I kept it for as long as I could.
Oh God, Soul Calibur, but you're not big on the Soul Calibur.
No, I mean, I bet probably some of the other guys out there would have a little bit more knowledge about this.
I've always been I'm a fan of Soul Calibur as a single player experience, which is fucking weird. I've never enjoyed it that much with another living person.
It's been that way since the beginning, though. I mean, Soul Edge and then Soul Blade in the PlayStation 1 was amazing for that, kind of RPG element to it. Nothing had really been done like that before. And that's something they've continued, but currently this one, they took it out.
That's what Houghton said. They stripped a little bit of the story mode.
They took a bit of it, because I remember playing 2 a lot, solely for Link, and then having this like cool adventure mode. And I mean, I played this one, and yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. It was the first PS3 game that I played specifically the PS3 version, because I was not about to play as Yoda. I wanted to play as Vader, and it was pretty cool for that. And the online did work great. I played several matches, got my ass kicked, but when 10 years from now, what's everybody going to remember about this game?
I'm going to go up to say titties.
Yeah, they just get out of control. Ivy's costume is literally like a 13-year-old was like, I'm going to do this.
I was going to go with Yoda and Vader, and I realized that I was going to go with Yoda and Vader, and I realized I hadn't ever seen their story mode, and I'm like, let's see what it looks like, and it's pretty lame. Like the announcer, this is going to be a match to remember. That's not Soul Calibur.
It's Capcom vs. SNK2.
Yeah, and they just dark side you are. Man. Fire bad. Yoda.
Do the lightsabers make a clashing sound when they hit swords?
When they hit swords, and they don't slice through things because they're lasers.
They don't even bother to address that. It's just.
But there's a dumbass story element which I couldn't even get while watching it because Yoda just says, "I must destroy you. I might," and then the ending just walks away. Not over. And the Vader force chokes the boss. What's
like
his name?
Yoda, I might. It's like Yoda.
Maybe. Try I do. But I got this clip of just not only Yoda kicking the shit out of Vader, which just looks weird in the YouTube video I took it from, but he also, we can't say that, sexual battery on a corpse. Like once he's dead and down, Yoda takes another cheap shots on the corpse. Yoda.
Stage completed. My burden lifted has been.
God.
See? Which
I did want to mention real quick, getting back in the fighting games. In the new Super, if anybody's noticed, you cannot hit people after you KO them. You can't hit the corpse because
I can't say the R word.
I guess can.
I guess can, yes.
You cannot, defile the corpse. Mostly because Japanese players found it offensive. And in EVO, people were not really cool with that.
I actually asked about that at one of Capcom's events, and they said the reason that, they said the straw, we have to take it out, was something about enabling that last hit after the KO was actually screwing with online data sending back and forth. something about the match is over and still allowing button input was like causing problems. But also that people found it rude and distasteful.
It's terrible.
Because I do find it kind of offensive personally.
It's a total insult to entry. I hate it. I hate
like
it in every
teabagging.
game. A teabag. Yeah, that's what teabagging is.
It's offensive.
And so that was the number 7 in the top 7. What?
Sequels that improve.
Nothing!
Absolutely not.
I haven't had an excuse to grab a UHF sound effect. Number
6.
A game will probably have even less to say. Resistance 2.
No, I absolutely liked his point here because I played a little of Resistance 1 and everybody ignored Resistance 1's flaws because it looked great. It was a completely unique setting, like small towns in England.
Yeah.
And for a launch game, it was pretty fantastic. And for Resistance 2, they added co-op, 60-player online matches.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
neither one of which were all. I mean, we played co-op in the office, and it was like it wasn't the game co-op; it was special modes and levels, and it was kind of like it's a different experience from the main game, and I didn't find it all that fun, honestly. And I played through half of the game on single player, and I got bored and quit because it was shooting.
The main thing point that I loved is that moving it to the skyscraper-laden New York took all the charm that everybody took away from the launch game.
Yeah,
Like,
I would definitely agree. I mean, that's how I felt about the first one, was like going through those back areas, those England towns and everything. And then if you're just going to put it in a generic setting, then
a setting that every game is set in, instead of like you were playing with straw dogs with aliens.
Well, it opens like you're in. It's like a field, and it's still kind of grassy, and then there's like the second level opens up. You're in the actual San Francisco Bay, and you're underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, and it looks really cool. And then you're in the woods, so like it begins with like you're running through the wilderness of Middle America, but then it does slowly get back to buildings. And then you fight the giant monster in the buildings,
Which I love. That seems to be the only
It's a
distinction
cool-
I can make in this
Yeah,
this console generation, is that the enemies are way bigger.
yeah,
All the time. Lost Planet is based off of that.
yeah, pretty much.
And that was number 6 in the
Yeah.
top 7 what?
Games that sequels.
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Yay!
God, how many Google searches did
That's
you do
it.
for nothing?
Those are just the ones I knew off the top of my head.
And number 5 is one I actually can't speak to because I enjoyed one.
5.
Devil May Cry 2.
I thought everybody hated this one.
I enjoyed the first one and so much that when the second one came out, I was like, I'm done. I'm good. I feel no need to play one ever again.
This is
it seemed like it came out like 6 months later. Or
it
something.
did.
I was
It
like,
came out
It was
way
quickly.
too soon.
It was pretty quick, and it was apparent once it did.
Because I remember, I was still gaming and living in college. I remember living at the Owsley house when I played the first Devil May Cry, and it took me a while to get to that. And then by the time I got to it, 2 was already out. And then every magazine in the world is like, "This is terrible." It was made by another developer.
What was so bad about it? Like, I've
think-
asked this several times, and every time I get an answer that's slightly different, so I never know what.
From what I've read, is that the difficulty was adjusted. Made too easy.
Yeah,
And
I've heard that.
and we should have mentioned this in maybe Tyler Wile's top 7. They opted to make sort of, from what I've read, to make sort of an open world kind of game, which all the environments took a hit because to make the larger environments. And
yeah, I mean, the charm of the first one was those claustrophobic, gothic environments.
yeah,
I mean, he mentions it in there too.
like nobody had
But-
seen anything like that, and here you are with 2. And I'm just surprised they pulled it together for 3 and I guess 4. And
No, by 4 was definitely the what you got.
Yeah, no, two is weird because it was like a magically accelerated progression. Usually it takes like
Yeah.
4 sequels before a game goes from being great to
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an open world and simplify the combat, and now it sucks, and I'm Tony Hawk. But like
Or Laura
this
Croft.
just happened 6 months later. Like, we're gonna just skip all the moderately good games.
Yeah, just go straight to the bad
We'll
ones.
just go straight to the bad one.
And then we're going to totally pull it back for 3, and then by the time 4 comes out, you won't care.
Wasn't there something too about that? Just he had like a really annoying sidekick, or the second character was just bland.
know. I was just assuming I always assume that's the 4th game.
Yeah, 4 cracks me up. Let's
Yeah.
introduce a character that looks exactly like our hero and basically is him, but isn't.
It'll be another action figure.
Yeah, he has a slightly different costume.
And all we have to do is change the head.
This isn't Dante in a new outfit. What are you talking about? This is Nero.
It's like they did like a modern day palette swap on Dante. And
Oh wow,
so weird.
I'll call it that. I'll let you get away with that.
Okay.
Number 4.
Oh no, I know everybody disagrees with me on this. Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mario Kart Double Dash, which was the first Mario Kart that I didn't play to death. Well, I still beat it and then beat all the tracks backwards. But I played it by myself because none of my friends wanted to play it. Practically pretty much because even though Mario Kart was always very silly, this was the first one that felt like a baby game. Like, you're literally racing as a baby for one. So that didn't help. That didn't help. But then look for your baby sound effects. Come on.
Perfect.
Nope, I don't got it.
You don't have these labeled by now?
I do, but they move around as my hard drives crash.
But yeah, like the courses were like really. It was a mix of the courses, the fact you're not racing in carts, you're racing in like buggies.
Buggies!
A pipe. There's one that's a pipe.
And just stupid shit. And then the
Yeah,
music is like this. It's fucking terrible music. When when the Mario Kart 64 and the Super Nintendo one, it was at least it was catchy music. And then of course the blue shell, which is just a kiss of death.
Invention of the blue shell, which I argued with Henry. He said it wasn't. This is where the blue shell came from, right?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's not. He said 64. I'm like, you are wrong.
I don't think it was, but let me.
Do you remember a crudely modeled blue shell
No, I don't.
in 64? Didn't we
No,
play a lot
Mario
of
Kart
this?
64, we played religiously. We had yearly competitions, and I won all of them.
This was your
I was gonna say
GameCubes at Justin and Gongons, and we always
Yeah,
had
we
4
played this
players
to
on
death, and one of the things I thought that the only part I got to disagree about, the blue shell is terrible, and I definitely the music haunted my nightmares. But just the dash, the sliding feature, I don't know if that was
the snakies.
the
snaking.
blue flames. That was I don't remember that being in anyone before. That was in 64, was it?
Yeah.
It was in 64.
Yeah,
Okay.
64 introduced that
Okay.
slide, hold, move the stick back and forth
Yeah.
for a little boost.
But there was a rudimentary version of that in the original Mario Kart, wasn't
No.
there? Yeah.
No, Super Mario Kart had
You could
you
hold
could
L.
slide, but you couldn't.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
could-
you got a boost.
No, you could
No.
slide, but you didn't get
Speaking
any
of
kind
which,
of boost.
researching an article, do you guys remember the feather in Super
Yeah.
Mario?
Yeah.
You all do?
jump.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
jump,
Because that
I-
was like something I saw, and I was like, I completely forgot that.
Does that ever
was
happen? I guess
ever
it was just
a part.
supposed to
That-
tie in
It
with
never happened.
Mario
yeah,
World.
again.
It was a little bit of Mario World and the fact that the environments were all flat, so it was necessary to oh look, an element of elevation. Whereas by the time Mario Kart
Yeah.
64 came around,
crucial in battle mode. Good
yeah.
God.
Oh yes, to jump out of the level, out of the level when
Oh
when
my
red
God.
showed.
Oh, do I
And I
remember?
completely forgot that in Super Mario Kart. I don't know if this continued because
No.
I don't remember, but that coins made you go faster.
Yeah, slightly faster.
Did that actually?
I don't
carry
think that
on?
retained. I don't think
Yeah, I don't think-
64.
I feel
retained.
like remember being pissed when someone would hit me and I would lose coins. Like,
Coins.
no, I lost coins.
I remember there was a reason you had to have coins.
Well, coins would
Mario Kart.
very
It'd
slow,
make you
very
faster.
slightly increase your speed.
But I love Double Dash. We played a lot because 2 players can make...
No, you didn't.
2
You're
players
wrong.
working together could make a difference.
You're
We
actually-
did play a
you're
lot,
wrong.
right?
I think
Tell
we played
me.
a lot. I think we played.
I think we played a lot for a-
No, I don't think we played.
No, we
with
were
the
at
two.
Justin and Gongon's house.
See, just who would want to be on the back?
Who's named after a monkey ball character? What the hell?
He had his name first. He had his name first, I swear to Christ. He doesn't like to be called that anymore. He apparently has a real adult name.
They call him Jake.
No, never. Never. You don't get to decide. You don't get to decide, Double G. All right, number 3. Oh, goodness. Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5.
And I agree. I mean, I reviewed the shit out of this, and I say that because I played it. What felt like 3 times through.
You got all those emblems things.
I
played it a
then I
lot.
wrote the guide for it. So yeah.
Oh, we played it. We played online
Yeah, I played it through
all the way co-op.
I mean, yeah, I agree with him as pretty much. I think that if they really didn't want, or what they really should have done is just made it a new property. I mean, you don't need to attach the Resident Evil
Sort of.
name to it.
But I'm not a huge Resident Evil... I'm not still a fan of the original Resident Evils. I think those games couldn't survive in that state at all. But this is a little... I can understand how this is a little ridiculous. This was not... I think you said it's not a Resident Evil game.
No, it's absolutely not a Resident Evil. It's not. It's A, not scary, and B, just fuck shit, bullets, fire, like all over the place.
Splendid timing!
Oh
I just found that guy.
Excella's plaything.
You are just in time for the fireworks show! Boom!
It's like talking to Meowth.
Yeah.
Boing.
No, Tyler's waving a fight stick at me. This could happen.
Oh,
This could happen.
I'm jonesing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the addition. I mean, the thing here is, I kind of don't agree because it did improve the shit out of the controls because you can now walk and aim
And aim.
and
Oh, what a revelation!
The dual, yeah, it's kind of like, so if you want to be an action game, you need to control like an action game. If it looks like Gears, shoots like Gears, has enemies rushing at you like Gears, I need to be able to fucking move and fire, and like you still have to stop and shoot, and that's stupid.
It was very, very pretty, and I forget that we bring this up. It would have gotten a worse score. Would it have been its own new franchise? It was a new game. I don't think anybody would have cared because it was still
That's the thing.
a little rudimentary
Yeah.
compared to everything else. But it was Resident Evil with what do you call them? Insensitive enemies. Ooga booga.
Ooga booga. But then, yeah, like they copied the El Gigante giant. They recopied the lake monster. They copied everything. Only everything now is twice as big and with more pixels. And that was the only, like, it was Resident
and you got a
Evil
bigger boat.
The texture, Brett. The textures.
The text, no, they were gorgeous.
Oh, the textures.
But I thought it was still a lot of fun, and even though it's been
yeah.
a year, I enjoyed the hell out of it. But it was kind of like Resident Evil 4 was great, right? Well, now there's more.
And now there will continue to be more.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I would love to play through it again.
I would expect some announcement soon. I have nothing to base that off of, but it does seem like there should be some new Resident Evil content.
Yeah, it would be easier for me to weigh in if Resident Evil 5 had been terrible, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had
playing
a lot of
it.
fun.
As much as the whole time I'm playing, I'm like, this isn't Resident Evil.
That was like the last game, you and I, you live all the way on the eastest coast, and we played together through the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, what was that, 10, 15 hours?
Yeah.
Actually getting together to, like, with the 3-hour time zone difference.
You remember
to make time.
you remember my delay where like you could save me well after I should have died? It's bizarre.
Dude,
because he lives in the future. That's where the East Coast is.
This is true. Wish I had a future sound effect. I've had future wishes I had that too. Number two. Another thing I love: games with ultimate in the title that never are. Ultimate in a number. Ultimate Alliance 2.
Ultimate Alliance 2.
You had given this in some anti-awards, like the painted yourself into a corner
Yeah,
award.
after Marvel Ultimate Alliance, one of the anti-awards, I think that year was...
in a complimentary way.
Yeah, paint yourself in the corner. Because Ultimate Alliance was, well, you escalated this from X-Men Legends, X-Men Legends 2, then you went straight to Ultimate Alliance, which was
Everybody.
everyone who even kind of matters, including boss fights against the same thing. So Ultimate Alliance 2, instead of being a yearly release as it had been up to that point, actually took them a couple years to go, all right, well, I guess we should make an Ultimate Alliance 2. And then it's actually scaled the fuck back.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit less of everything, but it looks prettier and it has more fusion powers between the characters.
That's true.
But it is still mashing on buttons, and this worked better when it was a little more like X-Men Legends. I don't know. I played X-Men Legends 1 to death, and then after that, it was kind of like... The more you add to this, it dilutes it, and then when you scale it back, it feels like you're cheating me because you're charging the same amount of money for it.
David said it was like adding extra cheese to a 3-cheese pizza.
Well,
Beautiful.
That's how Ultimate Alliance 1 felt to me, because X-Men Legends 2 was already a very serious game, and this actually took some stuff back. But the things they added was like, would you like to play as Venom? I don't know. Do you?
Where's my...
Yeah.
I'd love to do that, says the DC villain. Maybe.
There's just it's a button mashing dungeon crawler, which is still fun. But if you played one, you have played them all.
Yeah.
So, which kind of leads into the number one entry
of the top 7 sequels that improved.
Nothing.
No one. All right. Dynasty.
Number one. Where's your now?
Oh, my bad.
Come on.
Dynasty. I mean,
the 103rd time.
Dynasty Warriors.
Dinosaurs.
Did I tell that story of my friend in Florida going up to the sassy checkout cashier with her really long nails, looks at her name tag and like, oh, hello, Lady Nasty, and, like, excuse me, that's La Dynasty. Like,
the Dynasty in Spanish.
La Dynasty, is it?
I believe it's the dynasty in Spanish.
My accent wasn't. I didn't do a good Spanish accent there. I think I was going.
Lady Nasty.
Lady Nasty. I'm Lady Nasty.
Yeah, do we even need to talk about Dynasty Warriors?
I know.
One
I
of
saw
them-
you play it, motherfucker. Don't deny it.
Maybe 10 years ago when it
I
first
know.
came out. But
One of them added elephants.
I
and that was on the box.
I can't imagine that they. I
was a
did not know
feature.
that they made this many of them.
There are so fucking many.
No, it's ridiculous.
I remember watching you play it on, what was that, your 60-inch rear projection wood finish television.
Power hog,
like,
radiation emitting.
Must have been the first one, the PS2.
It was the PS1 or PS2.
'Cause
But I
I
mean,
honestly
it's
can't
so
remember
hard
this,
because
but-
it has a spin-off series. I forget what it's called.
Samurai Warriors.
Wiki Pars was here. All right.
Samurai Warriors.
All right, fine.
Is that just
I'll
the like
give it to
PSP
you.
version? What is that?
No, there's like Dynasty Warriors 2, Dynasty Warriors 3, Dynasty Warriors 4, Dynasty 4 Warriors Empires.
Gundam.
Then there's the
multiple
Gundam ones. There's Samurai Warriors. Then there's the 2 crossing over. There's one for Wii.
Did we have this on Who's Buying This Crap?
Yeah.
I don't even think they're crap because I do think they do fill a simple need. And every time I see one, I'm like, that looks fun.
They're an evolution of like. Well, there's 2 schools of thought on the evolution of a game like Final Fight or Sunset Riders or Combat Tribes if you were desperate.
Combat Tribes.
Combat Tribes. One is this where it's you versus hundreds of fucking nameless people that you just stomp to death, or it's something like God of War where you the same thing, but one's much more built around flash and really cool graphics, whereas this is about throwing as much on the screen as possible, and not necessarily doesn't look very good.
I don't think they care about that. I think even their fans acknowledge everything about it is sort of silly, and trying to look for stuff on YouTube, it's just people thinking it's hilarious to speed up the dialogue and all the animations. Tons of that shit.
And then Capcom's finally bringing over their version that competes with this in Japan.
What's that?
Sengoku Basara, something like that.
That's probably what it is.
It's a huge series in Japan, and they're finally bringing it over because 17 Dynasty Warriors games was not enough to fill that void.
I don't know a lot of Americans who buy this. We write an article on it, nobody says anything.
Other than stupid.
Stupid.
So,
Another one? So I don't know who buys them over here.
And I agree with all
they're
of it.
successful somewhere, right?
I think it's got to be kids. It's got to be just like, just like when we were 10, we wanted to play X-Men, and I mean, that was kind of character-based, but, we'd pay like $5 to smash buttons all day and spend an afternoon in the arcade.
I know that, but, like, I can't... It's like a T-rated game, is it not?
Probably.
Probably? It can't be kids. I can't believe that it's actually kids. Did you not turn your phone off?
No, I did not.
You are an unprofessional TV expert. that was...
To be fair...
What?
The second Dynasty Warrior, this is almost a Wikipara, because the first Dynasty Warriors, as you know, was a one-on-one fighting game. Dynasty Warriors 2 was the first one like this.
I already gave you the noise. What do you want from me? There you go.
I want a Brett noise.
A Brett noise? I actually found your old soundboard.
Oh, which one? What's
The Brettbot.
Oh,
I
really?
found it today looking for stupid fucking Irving, and maybe I'll find that and annoy you with that when we come back from the break. T-shirt contest. This is going to happen.
New releases.
New releases.
Phone calls from you guys.
Phone calls, contest winners, new contest, a little bit of news, and oh god, this song is awesome. You're going to hear it in the break. Eric Fullerton, deadworkers.com, Press X to
great.
Jason, the Heavy Rain
it's
song.
really
It's
good.
fantastic. Download that at deadworkers.com. It's really good shit. We will see you in a second.
Nothing!
Days.
Hey, what's up? It's Tony Hawk. You were listening to TalkRadar at GamesRadar.com.
The rain has stopped. The sun came out. What a beautiful day to take my family out to the mall. Then we split up. My wife takes Sean to get some shoes for his feet. Now that's really sweet. But I got Jason. I got Jason. Oh wait, no, where did he go? He was standing right here. My wife's gonna kill me. Jason. got me searching high and low. My heart is racing. Press X to Jason. I'm walking around. Then I see a clown. And next to him is my little boy. So I bought him a toy. He's selling balloons. Jason wants a red one. So I shell out 2 single-dollar bills. Then Jason runs for the hills. My wife just spotted me. Then I tell her our son is gone. Then I'm on the hunt again. Press X to Jason. Jason. Press X to Jason. Press X to Jason. It's you that I'm chasing. It's you that I'm chasing. Press X to Jason. Press X to Jason. Press X to Jason. Suddenly there's a crowd in this mall. I don't see Jason, he's so small. Oh hey, I see a red balloon. Oh no, that's not my kid at all. Then I walk outside to see Jason crossing the street. How could he have walked that far? Then Jason is killed by a car.
TalkRadar. It's about to burst with snacky happiness.
I'm going to GamesRadar.com.
What a beautiful way to kick off.
Such a jerk.
I remember that. Wasn't that earlier today?
It was earlier today. I had to get that clip, and it's fucking frightening.
What is that from?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
And just it's a children's movie at the very end. Like, oh
really
yeah, I had a good time. And just Gene Wilder.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Bitch. What an angry bitch.
I thought that was like a Lithgow or something.
No. It's,
no, how dare he have
it's
my
Captain
name
Wilder
with an R on it.
Man who's too white to work. And I have Mario Galaxy 2 music bringing us in and out of everything because that game is awesome.
It is.
Talk about it. Get through the other new releases because they're all. Mod Nation Racers is out. People.
Gross.
Mod Nation Racers is out.
I've thought for the last literally 3 months that it was already out.
Yeah, me too.
And every time they're like, beta starts. Beta? I thought it was out.
Yeah, I thought people were already making tracks and shit for that. And
yeah, and I don't mean to sound like such a constant nagger on the PS3, but fucking who cares?
Not who cares. Isn't Microsoft at last year's E3 they were marketing the same thing.
Yeah,
it was free.
It was this weird Avatar racing game that looked like Looney Tunes or whatever.
It didn't have the customization, but it was free. Is that getting anything on Metacritic?
It's got an 82 now. CVG gave it a 91 because it was made in the UK.
I see.
No, that's not true. IGN gave it a 9, and then just hitting page down for fucking ever. One Up gave it a smiley face.
Number 6.
No.
75 equivalent. I don't know. Their letters.
Cool.
Sadly, I don't know. It seems to.
Other
do
games.
You like racing games?
Other games,
They put it out against Blur.
We all care about. Blur. Blur is out.
Blur is out.
How's Blur scoring on the old Metacritic?
Well, it's not showing up on my list, so I actually have to click through, which is stupid. It's averaging an 83. I kind of thought it would go a little higher for some reason.
Yeah. I keep, every review I've looked at about Blur is just constantly and I saw someone complaining about this, where they go, it's hard, you'd like Split Second more, because it's not so hard. And there's people complaining, the game's hard, but that's because it's good, and I can't say
I don't mind
way.
if it's hard for a good reason.
I talked to someone about this. I won't say who, but it's a reviewer at PTOM. And he or she said the game is really easy in the beginning, then gets incredibly difficult in
That's
the
what I just saw on
middle.
Twitter. Yeah.
And then at the end, it balances out, and it's very odd.
I just saw that on Twitter. Someone, I think, might have been Mitch Dyer again.
Mitchy D?
Mitchy D. He
Oh,
might.
Mitchy D.
I think he was saying that exact things. Oh, I was enjoying Blur, and then suddenly it became crushingly difficult.
Yeah. But it's one of those games that, I had to do stupid multiplayer shit for split second, and I was, like, almost offended, because I've been playing the Blur multiplayer, which is sort of like the Modern Warfare. You get XP and perks and all this, and classes and all this stuff, and then I go, and it's an offline mode with friends, and like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to do any of that. You just put all the mini games online. Who cares?
Yeah. So GameSpot is an 8, Giant Bomb's an 8, IGN is a 7, which is the lowest score at the moment. But I mean, you were saying earlier, like,
so conflicted. I hated it when we played it at last E3.
Oh yeah, last E3
it was terrible. I played it for like 45 minutes and just sat there like, because
it's
hated it the whole time.
Because it's from Bazaar, the PGR people. So
one
kind
of the games I
expect something really good.
And then the beta came out, and the beta was fantastic. The online beta. I was playing that for a while.
And we were talking earlier this week about that trailer and then also the commercial that ran during Lost, which we're not going to talk about.
Lost or the trailer?
Lost.
I was going to say that was awesome.
Lost?
No, absolutely not. The commercial for that. That's the only thing I know about it, and I hate racing games. Not a racist, but I was kind of intrigued by it, I got to say.
Yeah,
with making fun of Mario Kart.
Yeah, you were saying like how it's making fun of Mario Kart when it actually owes everything to Mario Kart.
It doesn't have a single weapon that isn't in Mario Kart outside of, I believe, Midnight Club called it the Shunt, which is a hilarious word, which is just like a pulse weapon that fires stuff out. Every racing game has that, but they have homing turtle shells, they have banana peels, they have
not
mines.
literally, right?
Not
literally, but it can't escape me.
Functionally, they're all the same thing. Yeah.
And people like Mario Kart is a very fair comparison to Blur because that's exactly what it is with licensed cars. And yes, they're all very distinct cars. It's not a fucking baby carriage and a pipe,
right? As previously lamented. My only thing, like looking at it from a distance, is that when you make it realistic, then it just kind of starts looking like every racing game because it's another bunch of licensed cars.
I think it's I'm not completely turned on by the look because I love Split Second because it looked like a fucking Michael Bay movie.
Right.
It was all shot with that weird Old West filter.
Yeah.
But it's like a really dark and dank area with neon weapons going off
bright
everywhere.
Lights everywhere. And I like that, but it kind of has that wipeout thing to it where the weapon drop and the weapon pickups just have that minimalist sharp angles and cubes.
The stupid icons that you just have to memorize.
You just have to guess what these things are the first time you see them. Like, it's a triangle, it's a square with one triangle. Is this square with 3 triangles? Is not 3 of them.
That's actually a cooler feature than you'd think. Is that you can hold 3 weapons and it's really easy to cycle what you want to use.
Right. But it's like Wipeout has the benefit of being futuristic hovercrafts flying through really cool designs, whereas these cars still have to obey physics to a certain degree and realism to a certain degree. So I don't know, I'm kind of like, to me it feels like it's this weird stuck right in the middle game of like it wants to be a Mario Kart shooting weapons at each other, but then
I want to blame Activision just because like they wanted a crowd pleaser and they bought this company who made really tight car games.
Yeah, I bet it's perfectly fun. Like I'm not down on it at all. I
really like the multiplayer. I can't wait to see how that breaks down. Like all the different lobbies and like who you can and can't play depending on what you have and do. It's more than I've seen in any other console racing game ever. Everybody's bored.
Yeah. What's the Twitter functionality with this game?
I imagine it's the same thing as like Uncharted 3. Those really annoying updates you'll get.
Uncharted 2?
Uncharted 2, yeah. They had Twitter updates in there. I think they eventually like abandoned them.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I thought you could tweet each other players or something with this game.
Probably.
Maybe.
Who gives a shit?
I don't know. It's the unfollow feature. You're playing another game.
Yes.
I don't
Hopefully
know.
Twitter will have the functionality for me to block that.
The moment you tell me you unlocked a trophy, I don't want to follow you anymore.
Keep those on your own wall. I don't care what trophy or achievement you have. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, what also came out this week? UFC Undisputed 2010.
Oh.
Too bad Shane nor Henry is here to talk about the man meat you'd find in this game. Is that doing okay? The UFC games are...
I was talking to my friend about Doom 2. So,
Is it better than UFC
Oh, I think
2009?
I think you'd have an impossible time telling the difference.
I would say no, because these games are undisputed.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
It's averaging an 87,
which is really good.
a 100 from Game Daily, Game Pro. Wow, really?
Maxim magazine.
Maxim, a tour de force.
I'm embarrassed. Our old buddy Eagle, number, messaged me and like, which one should I get? I don't have Xbox Live Gold, and the PS3 has exclusive moves or movies, fighters.
Movies, same thing.
They have movies. That's part of it too. I don't really understand what that means. I'm guessing just highlights from UFC matches, which I have. I also have an outlet for that. It's called YouTube. YouTube
doesn't cost $60,
but it ain't HD.
It is apparently a game that actually addressed the complaints of the first, like legitimately. Because I mean, reading these blurbs on the reviews, it's like they did manage to make a game that's easy to get into, but still deep and not button mashy, and moves that chain and link and words that mean things.
Moving into games I care about.
I think if you liked UFC, you were already going to buy it.
I think we should start a fight club.
Those work till the first time you get punched, and then you're like, "This was a terrible idea."
It's all. Fight clubs are all fun and games until you end up crying in someone's tits. And sucks. Mario Galaxy 2. Excuse me. Yee-hoo. No one else is playing it.
I'd like to say Doom 2.
Spicules, no.
Just the.
You have a weenus and a girlfriend.
It's just the Wii. That's really it. The Wii.
I sold my Wii so long ago. I don't remember the name of the intern I sold it to.
Keep reminding me to buy those that give you the money for Banana Blitz.
Oh,
it has been 3 years since I haven't paid you for Monkey Ball Banana Blitz.
I'd like to mention that Doom 2 came out for XBLA this week.
Ah, wonderful.
I fucking love Doom 2.
For XBLA?
Yeah.
It wasn't out already?
No, Doom 1 came out in 2006, and they literally took 4 years to make Doom 2. And my friend is playing it right now, and he says they've altered the health sprites. The medikits and stim packs no longer have the red cross on them.
Can you say it? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Do we have a breaking news flash? Oh my god, Eric's running in the room. Grab my headset.
Killzone 3 totally exists.
So
real. I saw it, I touched it, I played it.
How does the 3D work?
With glasses.
Do they ship with the game?
No.
So I won't be using it.
Well, they had them on like nice glasses that actually have batteries and a power button.
Oh god,
they're nice ones. They were cool.
But
yeah,
was it just Killzone 3?
So far, yeah. And you by the time everyone reads about this, we'll have a hands-on posted because it's embargoed till tomorrow. But yeah. There you go. Takes place right after Killzone 2.
So 2009.
That's strange.
Has some cool stuff in it, like new vehicles, and like when I left, Michael was playing with a rocket pack.
Shut up!
Like a machine gun mounted on it. See the respect I get? Jeez.
Yeah, they said the jetpacks were like the big addition.
Yeah, they're pretty cool too, because it's got unlimited ammo and unlimited fuel, so you can just sort of bop around and blow things up.
Does it have guys with masks that have like glowy eyes on them?
A couple.
Okay, that's cool.
You know, alien jungles.
Is that flying better than Dark Void?
Yeah. It's more of a jump pack. Like you can't stay up there indefinitely. The fuel runs low, but then it recharges. So it's cool. It's got some pretty neat up close melee stuff. It's all contextual. So you just when you get too close to a guy, you just press X because it's a PlayStation controller, and he'll like stab the guy in the neck or knee him in the groin, and then like curb stomp his head onto the stairs or whatever.
Is it this fall? I guess.
I don't know. They didn't actually specifically announce a date.
So this was on like one of the 3D TVs with like the 3D glasses.
Yeah, I mean they had it in 2D as well, but I happened to be talking to one of the PR guys.
I mean, did it work? I
really dig it.
Did it enhance it at all?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, one of the games I saw last week at the pre-3 events that I'm not allowed to talk about. It's a big secret. Was also in 3D, and this was a slightly different implementation, but there's all these wide open spaces, you know, and there's this one sort of, you're on its frozen oil rig basically, and there's these dudes way across on a balcony shooting rockets at you, and all these sort of crates in this open area that you're trying to navigate through. And it was really cool because the 3D, like you could see the rockets coming at you, and you could judge how far away they are, and you could really read the You could read the environment really well. You could tell how close you were to a particular hiding spot, and you could. I really like it. I think it really enhances the experience. Now the other game I saw last week, there were 4 of us in the room looking at it. I loved it, and the other 3 guys said it made their head hurt.
Yeah, I've had a problem so far with 3D glasses. Even watching Avatar after like 45 minutes, I was like, "Wrap it up, Cameron."
I didn't have them on for 45 minutes. This was like, but I dig it. I think it's cool. I like it better than motion control.
Yeah,
that's my official vote. 3D better than motion control.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And not just because it gives me an excuse to buy a new TV. Sorry, honey, need a new TV. It's for work.
Yeah,
that's 60-inch Sony.
Could you expense that though? That's the question.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was curious though, because I'd heard of people with the only one I'd heard for the sports thus far was Resident Evil 5, and I remember hearing like people would have it on display in a store at their
There
work.
was a PC version does it. Yeah. And I played that, and it was the same. It wasn't actually like true 3D. Like if you moved the character, like someone standing behind a chair, anywhere, any direction you looked, the chair was still covering the same part of them. It wasn't like you were actually looking around the chair to see them because the game wasn't designed that way.
So and grabbed it on.
Yeah, and the same thing with Arkham Asylum and Left 4 Dead. I played those in 3D, and it was still kind of like, that's not really 3D. You're just like pulling the layers out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just got the 3D Arkham Asylum this week. I haven't tried it out yet, but it ships with the blue and red lens glasses, which they apparently seem to be modifying. So instead of blue and red, it's now sort of magenta and teal.
It's
apparently
better.
It's cooler and hipper. But I just hate wearing those colored glasses because then it breaks the color of everything.
Were they by any chance American Apparel 3D glasses?
Okay, I'm done interrupting you guys now. I gotta go write this up and post it because there's no embargo on the debut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to the kill zone?
He's still playing. I
Passing
got
it
killed.
off. Oh, I thought that was the pass-off music. There it goes. Yeah!
Killzone exclusive. Thank you, Eric.
What's the...
Oh my goodness, how exciting! Killzone
So
3
Doom 2 has
been announced. Killzone 3 will make our lives hell.
Yeah. This would be breaking if we published this the day we recorded it.
I loved Michael's his first article when Killzone 3 was first announced, and the headline for Michael's article was Killzone 3 announced, biased coverage to begin immediately.
It's just going to be months and months of us hating Sony.
All right.
Because, I mean, like a bunch of jerks, we gave Killzone...
transition.
Because like a bunch of jerks, we gave Killzone 2 a 9.
I'm out of Mario sound effects.
All right, let's go.
Fine.
I'm out of, there you go. Mario Galaxy 2, no one?
I played the first... I beat the first world. I'm on the second world. And
it's fantastic.
I'm enjoying it, but I just Red Dead right now is so captivating. I love that world so much, so I'm just sucked into it. When I beat that, I'll go back to Mario
Two things I want to mention about it, because I'm loving it. I don't know what it is about.
I love the music.
A Mario game, it reduces me to like a fucking blithering child. Like all I've been twittering is my Mario Galaxy information. The spring suit is the worst thing of all time.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's it was terrible in the first game, and that's sort of what I noticed. There's so many power-ups. You use them like 3 times.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
Very rarely.
They introduced like Bee and Spring Mario and Boo Mario and Galaxy, and they're all in like 1 or 2 levels apiece.
None of them were really required. It was just like a little level they designed just to use
for it. Yeah. And Light Yoshi is a thing that's in Galaxy 2, and it's also like, hey, there's a level that uses him.
That's interesting.
It's been like that since the beginning, though. I mean, you know, how many levels had the Tanuki in it? You know, it's like,
but not the Tanuki, but like. You know,
that was kind of
the raccoon tail, the fire flower. Like you always wanted that. You wanted that. Like I hate having the dread of power up. I didn't play a lot of new Mario Wii, but I don't give a fuck about the penguin suit. Like,
penguin suit was stupid. Propeller suit was stupid. Game was stupid. Not a fan.
I don't know. Like,
but I mean,
remember how excited you were? Like, dude, I have a cape and I have a feather in my inventory. I'm going to take over Mario, the Mario World.
Like Mario World, it was all about the cape, and then obviously getting Yoshi.
And I mean,
but it's true though.
I'm not giving it shit because that hasn't been the case since Mario 64.
Right. Yeah. Here we go. But even in Mario 3, there was the Tanuki, there was the frog suit,
which I did want.
The Hammer Brothers suit was awesome.
I love the frog suit.
You can never get it, but
Yeah.
You wanted them.
I wanted it.
Whereas now, like, when I see the spring of
fuck, and now I can't get anywhere further than the level without wearing this, and I see I'm jumping over chomps, and I can jump over these without this.
Yeah.
All I do is backflip. I don't need this at all. But you have to.
I believe this game has made you guys dread springs, which are like the coolest thing ever. When I was a kid, if I found a spring,
they should be.
Holy shit.
And really easy to draw.
Well, it could be a spring or a tornado,
or it's sometimes a
Pigtail.
dizzy signal or a stink line if you're creative.
Maybe a
that
spiral
reminds
staircase.
me. Well, since I'm going home this weekend,
Sure.
I have. Speaking of like drawing things as a child and scribbling things into spring.
Fuck! Are we gonna see some Elston artwork?
I have a Mega Man 2 story that I wrote in 3rd grade.
Fuck! Can we do a dramatic reading?
And I.
Oh, we should.
Oh my god! I bet every
One
word-
guy hated our sketch last week, and it almost turned me off the idea.
Oh,
of
you
it.
gotta stop.
Radio theater, though. We can bring
Come
this
on,
back.
it was good. Just because one person didn't like it, most everyone else did.
funny.
I wish I had shit like that.
And
I
thanks
really
to
do.
everyone who commented in the thread for Talk Radar 102.
Yeah, that was, thank
and
you.
for Game Music of the Day, I love you for it. That's all.
That
You were
is-
about to say I heart you and realized how lame that
I
sounded.
said I was going to say hate. And then I decided, no.
You were gonna say,
I love the game music, and I love the segment you did last week. But I want to say I could have sworn I saw that on Family Guy, a very similar sketch.
It's not. Look,
It's not a unique
That's
idea.
not fair to say. First of all, I don't watch a lot of Family Guy.
Neither do I. But
second, that's all the show is.
Yeah.
And ours was longer and more. If that's
it was,
somehow
no, I
funnier.
was very, very more segmented to video games, and I appreciated that.
I felt
But-
it was very Robot Chicken is what I got out of it,
Oh.
which is almost the same people.
Oh yeah, I guess that's an insult. I could
No,
be a
it's not an
millionaire if I
insult.
wouldn't go work for them.
You
I
could.
mean, I might have even confused them because they got like 10 of the same guys in
yeah,
the same
exactly.
project, so
Yeah.
all the same voices.
Fuck you guys. Mario Galaxy 2.
I loved it.
Mario Galaxy 2.
What do you want to talk about Mario Galaxy?
The co-op mode. I
the
I
co-op
told my
mode?
girlfriend we had it out when Final Fantasy 13 came out. I'm like, look, I'm not going to be around for a while. This game's going to take me 60 hours. You have to understand that it's part of my job. It's what I need to be. She didn't understand that.
Of course not.
She didn't like that, and compromises were made. But I'm like, this is Mario Galaxy. Like, I buy every Mario game immediately. I have since I was 8 years old, and I played all the way through. That's just the way it's going to be. It's just the way it has to be. And
I did that
like,
with Wind Waker, and that girlfriend broke up with me.
well, that's why Mario Galaxy. I said, well, wait a minute. Why don't you come over and get some two-player action on? And it was awesome.
Because the second player is a Luma that can actually grab onto things.
The second player is a Luma. They can't do anything consequential in the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, everything I'm doing is me. And then we get to like those really hard platforming stages with moving platforms and electrical gates and buzzsaws that move. She can go grab those and shake the remote and they stop.
Yeah.
So like just imagine like Prince of Persia if like your girlfriend leaned over, held the remote up and held the swinging blades, the pendulum blades, and
Right.
held those so you could get through. It's fucking awesome.
Did she find it enjoyable though? Simply simply
girl who
holding
won't hold
things.
my swinging
She hit-
pendulum is
girls
a
are talking.
girlfriend
No,
of
girls are
mine.
great at holding stuff.
I'm not talking about all girls. I'm saying my lady does. She. I guess you could say she hates games.
Right.
But it's because she doesn't play them. And the only stereotype I've discovered about women is that they hate the feeling of failure when they don't have enough information. So like just throwing them into a game and them losing, like they just get really fucking pissed and it's just, game over. You suck.
I think that's people, not necessarily.
Bullshit. I think men see that as a challenge. If I did that to you guys right now, if I wasn't a two-player kicking the shit out of you,
Right.
like we all played the impossible game for like an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called the impossible game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it's like fear of the known. It's like if you had like your athlete jock friend be like, "Hey man, want to come to the gym with me?" Oh, and you work on this machine. Oh, just give it a try, man. It's okay. No, seriously, it's really easy. I'll show you how. You're gonna be like, I'm not coming back again.
I'm saying this also.
Wow, that's senior year.
as a
Wow.
stereotypical compliment to women. Like looking at a mom magazine over there, a woman's magazine. All that shit is to help you with things.
Yeah.
And to talk you through things and to commiserate in an experience. Games aren't like that. It's all about you subverting the system, being better than this or that.
Right. Yeah.
And anyway, it was fantastic. Like we're running around like star bits I don't want to wade the remote at. She grabs. There's a 1-up, some horrifyingly lethal area. She just goes and grabs it, brings it back to me.
That's so much better than the first one, man. 'Cause I knew quite a few couples that really dug the first one just on the wave and get the things.
It slowed me down, but like it really like some of those platforming levels and those goddamn purple coin things. Like she's literally holding off all these lethal elements, and sort of having a good time because she can't lose and she can't win.
I would see if Carolyn would play that with me, but I feel like I don't know. If she likes games.
She likes games already.
I think she might feel that's kind of limiting and be like, I'd rather just be playing.
No, the HD hates
she should
games.
be in the kitchen making you cookies.
Probably.
That's true. Well, she made cupcakes last night. They're delicious.
She should be in there baking babies. Baking babies. Baby's done.
Wow, you almost got another one out of me. Speaking of the mom magazine over here, underneath it is pregnancy, and just for 1 month, like maybe April Fools, I wish they would ship it as pregnancy.
Absolutely nothing.
I wish their first cover line is "How is Babby formed?"
How is Babby formed?
Just 1 month pregnancy. Come on.
I want to start an offshoot magazine just called Miscarriage. But the thing is, is the criteria open for everything. What do you do to fill this void of the baby who used to live in your stomach?
Right.
Like you could use games, crocheting, all the stuff Future does already.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you can also make sure every cover is a bowl of pasta.
Was that racist?
No, it was talking about the.
All right. All right. Everybody, Miscarriage.
It looks like a lasagna in a blender.
I wish I had a sound effect of that. There's that, and Mario Galaxy 2. My utter enjoyment of that has only in me a solo quest to do without asking or telling anybody a Super Mario 2 theme week.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
I
came up with
apologize.
a bunch of Mario 2 stuff, and I'm like,
I don't want to be beholden. I have one thing in the barrel. I don't know I doubt I'll be able to pull it off.
One Rolling Stone's worth two in the bush.
No, right? And
that's what RoboCop told me.
I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I did. It was game music of the day. I was going to say week because that's how I feel. But
what?
I feel it's a game music of the week.
Oh,
more so than anything else. The character select music, not in because I chose Mario 2 and I'm like, oh wait, all this music sucks.
I like the music.
Character select music in Mario 2 though. Character select music in Mario 2.
The character select music is interesting because
I love the first world music in Mario 2.
Yeah. I do, but they're all the same. They're all about 20 seconds looped over and over again.
That's the whole system, though.
It was the whole system, but Mario 3 does not do that. Mario 3 is much longer, much more distinct.
Rygar actually goes somewhere if you listen for minutes.
Go look up the Mario 2 soundtrack. It's like 10 tracks long, and 2 of them are one-up noises.
Yeah.
It's not a great soundtrack. That was okay. Placate me. Maybe we'll play that super fast.
I haven't played this thing at all, so.
I played a lot of Mario 2. It's unabashedly one of my favorite Mario games for some weird reason. I know and it was nice. It's, god damn it. What did I write? The 10 things you didn't know about Super Mario 2, which I tried to be really things you didn't know. Everybody knows it's a reskin Japanese game. You read our site, we mention that every 20 minutes.
Right.
There was a bunch of other crap.
Plus, if you're a video game player or owner in the 21st century, you should know that Mario 2 for the NES was based on a Japanese game.
But it was still it involved the entire the Nintendo team, and that's what I wanted to find a way to mention, but I couldn't prove that. But it's sort of like a fledgling, somebody on the internet makes a video that's really popular, and then a movie studio hires them to do their advertising. That's sort of what happened.
Right.
This giant TV channel hired Nintendo. Yeah, you guys are cheap. You guys, we can afford you guys. Imagine that now. You can't afford to buy Nintendo. Hey, make a game out of our convention's mascots.
Right.
Nintendo was hired on to do that. Miyamoto. And but this is the character select music from Super Mario 2, and I only played it because it's longer than most of the other tracks in the game, and nobody's ever heard most of it. This is what you hear.
And by now I've already picked my character.
You got your character. You get the idea. But it's later in the song. Oh my god, here. Oh, wow. This is kind of nice.
I remember this part.
Yeah.
But the next part there for a while. The next part I didn't.
Oh my god! Fingers of flames!
I also liked how the US box was Super Mario Brothers 2 Mario Madness.
Mario Madness. Like, you will accept this.
You will go insane playing this.
You will accept this.
We have all lost our minds at Nintendo of America. Copyright 1988.
It's only the second one, but we're going to.
I really like
Mario Dimension.
As I show you this, as I flip my laptop around, I love that. This is actually kind of a weird transcendent moment here that I'm about to share with you.
Oh wow! I think I know what it's going to be.
You are writing an article about Mario 2.
On Mario Galaxy 2.
And right above it, there's ads for Mario Galaxy 2, which is today, up here on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Banner ad is today. The article copy 22 years ago.
Oh my God!
We were all chillins.
Almost 2 decades ago, and
It's really weird.
And I'm not
seeing
trying to shill for that. Is not. I'm not writing all this because of Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Right.
Because I already know that's going to sell regardless. And did you know Mario 2 sold more than, not Galaxy, but Sunshine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunshine was,
That makes sense.
GameCube stuff in general sold pretty less than everything
Yeah,
else.
but it's still like a million seller. And Mario 2 is always considered the bastard child of everything.
I never understood that because it's a perfectly good game. I really like it.
I really wonder how good it was without the Mario characters. I'm sure it was fine-tuned a little bit, and I couldn't showcase this in that article.
But you mentioned like they improved the animations of a lot of characters.
They did. But it's still like just looking at it, I'm like, oh man, you're picking up pieces of the environment, throwing them at enemies, oftentimes throwing things that enemies shoot at you. Like, these are all things I can imagine writing about today, and oh man, can't wait to see that.
One of the most satisfying things in Mario 2 was throwing a little turnip that would hit several enemies in a row and make that
the super
sound,
jump,
and then getting a star because you hit so many in a row.
We were sort of talking about it on Twitter because it is the most hated Mario game, only because it's the least Mario game. But what made it special is I think it would have been okay without Mario. The duck to super jump.
Yeah.
Levels to dig, like NES had a shitload of side scrollers. None of them had a lot of stuff where you could go back and forth in the levels and subvert all this and that. Subspace.
It was a very
bonuses.
creative thing that not just the game itself was creative, but also their reimagining of it as a Mario game was really pretty brilliant considering
it's in.
I can't imagine too that can't really think of any other games that had selectable characters who were more than just palette swaps.
Yeah,
actually,
they all were embodied with different
had
powers.
Red and Scorpion from Contra, like they're the same guy.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
And even
Toad is a
even
picker upper. Mario is balanced. Luigi jumps high, and the princess floats for 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's actually really
try that
good.
on 4-3. You'll get through in a snap.
I mean, some of them were inferior to others in most of the levels, but
do you remember who you may have played as most in Mario 2?
Luigi.
I was Toad most of the time.
Toad?
Yeah.
Only because the first couple levels, if you can figure out how to get the potion blocks that one place, pull up all the bonus coins, because he's the quicker picker-upper.
Yep.
And I tried to showcase this in the article. I talked a lot more. It should have been like 10 things you didn't know about Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah. No one would have read that.
That it was commissioned by a Japanese TV station. It's based off of like a weird version of like the Japanese World's Fair. That Miyamoto was involved, and I had some of the music, and I couldn't decide which I liked better. We all are familiar with this.
Yeah, the underground music.
The underground music. And the Doki Doki Panic one is faster, but it lacks like those little those bongos in the background.
Yeah, the bok. Huh. That sounds more like early NES music to me.
Yeah.
It lacks the extra channel.
Yeah, exactly. There's something else underneath the melody.
Yeah.
I pretending like I know what I'm talking about. Music.
Dude,
I should move on from
I
that.
bluff all that shit too. I've written probably 100 game music articles at this point. I'm really like, the reverb is great.
I swear to Christ, that made me feel good.
All I know is Castlevania 3,
dude,
and the Japanese one had an extra chip.
Had an extra chip in it designed.
You gotta see these decibels.
That was
man.
designed for.
That was in an article. Soundtracks ahead of their time.
Yeah. Oh. I have a little bit of news here. I want to get into TV questions for our buddy Spicules. Sonic Colors is announced, and
followed by a burp.
It should be noted, and a lot of people didn't, is that this is only announced for Wii and DS.
It's a Wii and DS exclusive Sonic game announced via Sega's blog that I didn't know existed.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know idea.
Which leads me to believe that Sega. That's the kids' games. Like, the main Sonic game is for kids now.
Pretty much.
And they're giving us the throwback. It's just a weird feeling.
I definitely agree that that's the case. Like, I mean, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Unleashed, those were meant for a younger demographic and not us.
Yeah.
And they finally were like, Jesus, shut up already. Here's Sonic 4, now quit.
Quit making fun of Sonic Games Radar and whoever the fuck else is doing it.
Yeah, I've been singled out by Sega before because of that. But whatever.
I haven't. What did I write this? Oh, I finally put it up. 20 stupid pics of Sonic riding shit.
Pictures of Sonic. Which is funny. Like, as an example, story I wrote this morning, which would have been Wednesday morning. Mm-hmm. Sonic Colors announced for Wii. Mm-hmm. 30 comments in like an hour, a few hours. Let me read you the comments.
Sure.
Like, what do you? I assume most of our readers will. How do you think they'll react to Sonic Colors, which is a game about Robotnik,
positively
Robotnik operating a bunch of
they love it
amusement parks in space.
What?
Not like Mario Galaxy at all.
It sounds a lot like Mario Galaxy.
It sounds a lot like Mario Galaxy, where Sonic runs around and saves things that are colors.
I like this already. Here's Sean Penn going to be in it.
Here's the
colors.
Here's the comments. What a load of crap. I believe. Let's see. I am Jack's complete lack of surprise. I think it's a good idea for Sonic. Sega never learns. I will not be looking forward to this. Someone drowned the damn hedgehog already. Alright. I will probably never play this game. Wow, just when I thought Sega had come to their senses.
You're right.
I never thought Sonic Unleashed was a disaster. But that guy's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, just out of like 30 comments, it was like how fast people were like, fucking hate it. And
stupid Sonic.
There's still a couple people who are like, this could be good. It goes back to the ideas of saving woodland creatures in the original Sonic.
I think it's very weird looking at Sonic. It's sort of like somebody else took control of him and took them in an area that nobody who liked him wanted him to go. But it's never left the hands of Sega. Like, this is all them.
And what's funny is I found out because Henry emailed me this morning, who wasn't at work today. Mm-hmm. But then he even went in and commented on the story that I wrote and just commented what his email said, which was, so while another developer makes Sonic 4, this is what Sonic Team is crapping out. Remember when Sonic Team logo meant something? Which is what his email said almost verbatim. I just thought it was funny that he emailed and then was like, oh, everyone must know.
He wanted them to know.
Watching that shit fade in on the first Knights game.
Oh,
God
Sonic
damn
Team?
it, Sonic. Oh, like, is it, I guess I was reading magazines, I was anticipating it, but I didn't know Sonic Team did this. Oh my god! And
I think we've lost everyone listening. To
Insomniac goes multi-platform. That is huge, and everybody in this room is going to pretend not to care. But the fact that the people who make Ratchet and Clank games and Resistance are going to multi-platforms,
that's big.
And they're also making the new Fallout.
Are they?
No, I'm just trying to get Tyler's attention.
Not actually.
Oh,
they're making Bolo HD.
Come correcting me. Bolo HD.
Yes, they are working.
Super
on
Tanks. Hold on. Let me up you up, Captain Whisper.
Everyone thinks I like it better when it's Scorched Earth.
Scorched Earth?
What about Gorilla for Q-Basic? Throwing bananas at each other?
I was more of a Snake Man.
Snake Man's from Mega Man 3, by the way. Raping is another game of mine.
That's all else. And there's the rumors coming out today, when this is being recorded, is that Natal will cost
$150.
$150.
As an add-on to your 360 already.
Which we're not really sure how it'll work, but it's pretty clear it's to be competitive with the Wii.
It's some kind of
It's a motion control.
We'll actually spend another $50 and buy a Wii.
I was going to say that. By the time this goes down, this will be competitively priced with the Wii itself.
But I think it still needs a 360. It's not its own thing. You still have to have a so that's another $200.
Exactly. But if I'm a 360 owner and if I really want motion, and I'm saying that with like my eyes squinted, and like really want motion controls. Why wouldn't you just buy a Wii? At least that has a Mario Galaxy game.
Yeah. We'll we've actually got a lot of appointments already scheduled for E3. We're going to be playing the fucking shit out of Natal.
And I know
I don't know. There's plenty of stuff. So E3 will be loaded with impressions from Natal, but we don't know what they're showing or how many of the things.
I know I'm a negative Nancy, but I really want to see Natal and Move do something interesting.
I do too. But
I don't want these things to fail. I want to see good motion controls.
That
I
press
just haven't
conference
seen it
Sony
yet.
had with Move a few months ago was like, this is Nintendo's Wii press conference.
Yeah.
You've got the archery game, the shitty stacking mini
Yes.
game, like, do something else.
What
So
do
I
they
really
reveal,
want
a new
Natal
Kung Fu live? No thanks.
Like Natal's the only one that seems to be doing. Maybe it's something different. So that's what I really hope is the case.
God damn it! I had what was the situation this morning? I ran in, guys, hold the phone.
I wasn't holding it though.
Dude, last night I found Pac-Man in Mario Galaxy.
You were so
and like,
excited.
whoa, holy shit! And I'm like, hook it up my Wii, Lizzie, get on that now. Turn the channel on. Take the picture. Brett, give me a Wii remote. And you gave me a Wii remote, and you gave me the Wii Motion Plus remote wrapped in the condom.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't sync to the Wii without taking the condom off, and I'm fumbling around, and I just remember turning to Lizzie like, I can never figure out how to get these on. And it felt like it's such a shy teenage moment. Like.
There's like 5 rappers just scattered around. This time, I swear.
I think I might have broken. She's like, no, just left it here. Oops. And like, wow, this is exactly like losing my virginity. This is insane.
Well, now you put it on backwards. So now you got.
And then, I think I got it. All right, we're going to need another Wii remote. And what happened? We got that picture, and then I show it to people like, wow, fuck, Pac-Man, nice. And Brett comes over, oh, fucking cool. That's a chomp. That's a chomp, actually. And
no, from my perspective, I walk up, oh, cool. Oh, dude, that's a chomp. Like, the moment the P came out of my mouth, the letter... I watched your shoulders sag and your hand go into your head like, oh my god, it is a chomp.
You only can see it in a transition, so like you can't slow down and look at it. You're flying from one place to the other. And I just wrote it down. Chompworks Galaxy has a Pac-Man spring level. And it was the spring level, which is the worst fucking level. And I found it and captured it, and the article's already written. So if you go look at that article, it's an interesting experiment, probably poorly written, on how to try and salvage a lot of work that you did.
Yeah, the headline is Pac-Man invades Super Mario Galaxy 2?
Question mark?
Nope. Nope. Right underneath it. And it's like, yeah.
But it's fun to
But yeah, you can see the screen on there. It's actually, you can...
It looks a fuck lot like Pac-Man.
It looks like a chump.
Yeah.
It looks like Pac-Man.
So does the pizza I had last night.
Shut up. If the outline was... there's a circle outline for the eye.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was one star bit for the eye, we would be debating to...
No, you're totally correct. If the eye wasn't...
It's a bigger eye.
If the eye wasn't fully formed, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
But one, motherfucker, I didn't... Like, it flew by in less than a second.
I just watched your body language of, that's a chomp. Oh. It was like you melted in the chair.
I even searched, like, oh my god, Pac-Man. And I even, I fake speculated, but I came in like, does anybody know Pac-Man's a secret character in Mario Galaxy? Clearly money was, permission was needed. And granted, this has happened before. I had a whole article worked out.
And it all collapsed.
And it all collapsed right in front of my face as Brett giggled. Ha ha, chomp chomp.
I told you to just drop it and move on, and you're like, no, I can do something.
Well, I had to do something else that day. I have to prove my fucking worth.
It's just like when you're writing in high school or college, and then you make your argument all about this one thing, and then the day before you turn it in, you read that last little bit, and this totally destroys my argument.
Oh my god!
Just gotta run with it.
The Benny Hill Show didn't win a Pulitzer. Fuck!
I read that somewhere.
I am no longer citing Something Awful forums in my papers.
But you probably are going to teach some high school and college kids something.
And the other, god damn it, do you even want to call it a rumor? Keyboards in Rock Band 3.
Oh, there's keyboards in Rock Band 3.
The demo for Green Day Rock Band has a Rock Band 3 logo at the end.
I just want to say, this is one of those things where games journalists know a lot of shit ahead of time, and you can never say. But when they bother to release a logo with a fucking piano in it.
Seriously, like the last couple of games have been logos of like this is a guitar, this is the bass, and then have a keyboard.
They added a keyboard and it sits on the screen from the Green Day Rock Band demo.
Very
so the millions
weird.
of people who download this demo will see the same logo and come to the same conclusions we all will.
It's sort of
There's
like
a keyboard
if they
for
ran a
Rock Band.
Batman trailer and then had a giant green question mark at the end. Is the Riddler going to be there?
Yeah, and it's so beautiful the way we have to handle that.
Yeah, because now we can't say anything that we do know, but I can speculate that there's a keyboard for Rock Band 3. I don't know that. By the way, I do not know.
I'll say with 100% certainty that keyboards are probably coming. To Rock Band.
All you have to do is say. Even in the headline of the story I wrote, I said "are coming." It is. And all I have to do is say, according to this logo they released. It's just it's silly when they tie games journalists' hands and say, don't reveal this until this day. They've signed an embargo.
I don't know if it has 24 keys.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
I don't know that it's a guitar, but I know.
I do know this. You guys are all going to have to buy a new toy chest to accumulate all the plastic instruments.
Oh, dude, I got a great toy chest. It looks like a giant Rubik's Cube. It's fucking sweet.
Oh, dude, my mom is going to yell at me once Rock Band 3 comes out. It's going to be so messy. Okay.
An adult toy chest.
An adult toy chest. We should get into our television questions. Hi.
Hey,
Michael just showed up. Oh, my goodness.
Michael was also seeing Killzone. We had Mr. Eric Bratcher.
Yeah, Eric just ran in and told us all about Killzone 3. Yeah.
Do you have a Killzoner?
Tyler handed his headset to Michael.
Yes, this is Michael now.
Hi, Michael.
In this week's podcast. Holy
Hi.
shit.
Oh, my God.
And I'm being louder than ever.
Oh,
it's
wow,
wonderful.
look at that.
I'm also slightly drunk off of my $9 Jack and Coke.
They made you pay?
They did.
Like a commoner?
It wasn't on the list of prepaid drinks.
You're a games journalist, goddammit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I write about?
Do you know who I am?
From here on out, only Halo. That's what.
Yeah.
No more.
I wrote an article about missiles today. Give me free drinks.
I will write another article about missiles and about your game. Because your game has missiles in it.
So apparently the 3D works pretty well?
It works okay. It was kind of a prototype they were using. Well, not a prototype, but it's unfinished, so the glasses kept turning on and off. And so it'd be like, it'd keep going like into 3D, out of 3D, into 3D, and this was sort of disorienting, but yeah, it works pretty well. I mean, 3D doesn't normally work with my eyes, but this worked.
Huh, that's interesting.
So yeah, they're showing off some sort of new HD TV that's coming out that they expect everybody to buy.
So that segues greatly into Chris's next segment.
Does it?
Are you going to hang around?
I was going to go write this thing.
Okay. Michael's going to go write this thing.
Yep.
Tyler's coming back. Michael may be back. Maybe back for question of the week. Who knows?
Hi.
Anything's possible, even though I can't text message him.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there.
Michael.
Okay.
Have fun writing Killzone 3. Try not to be biased.
Be biased.
Oh, man. Listen at how much he already hates it.
No.
Yeah, what you didn't see was him holding a sign that says this game is stupid.
He's TV questions. Spicules. That was your name in our Counter-Strike guild, MB2K, also named after you. Stories from Cast. All semi-racist. You have worked in the TV beeswax for a while.
About probably on and off for the last 15 to 17 years.
And you're not.
I'm not an engineer. I mean, so some of these questions that we might get. I mean, I've gone to technical school. I've gone to business school. I've worked in a shop since I was a kid. Most of my stuff is on-the-job training and training that we've received from the companies that I work for.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just got a lot of hands-on knowledge. Like you guys like games. You pay attention to games. You read about games. Play games.
Every time I talk to you about this, you give me some sort of fascinating insight into how how this matters and how it doesn't.
I mean, I got a lot of inside info, but at the same time, like I can't make a TV. So some of the stuff it's going to be.
But you do understand the internal components of a television.
Yeah, I mean, I fix them all day, every day. So I'm pretty sure I should be able to answer any questions here.
Speculate.
Yes,
we go back. We go back a ways.
Probably longer than most of the kids listening have been alive, but
yeah, we go back.
When was like what grade or
would have been like 94, like I think I was 14.
The first time I went to your house,
yeah, it's like 8th grade.
He had the biggest TV I'd ever seen, and I was sort of like, I don't want to go anywhere. And my buddy Sam said, "Come over to his house. He's got a PlayStation, and he's got a huge TV. He's got a huge TV."
Oh yeah, 95.
We probably met at a show in like 94.
Yeah. We met in 94. I made fun of you for being Italian.
Yes,
we were skateboarder punks. And I think we went around stealing signs out of people's yards or smashing mailboxes or something.
Yeah. 14.
14. Where else are you going to put that testosterone? You got to take it out of somebody else.
I do remember.
No ladies wanted my testosterone.
See, I couldn't give it away.
But yeah, I did. I was one of the first people to get in our town or whatever, to get a PlayStation. I was totally obsessed with video games. I made a deal with my parents. If I worked off half the money, they would spend the other $150 in 1995 to purchase a brand new launch PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Retail $300. No game, one controller.
I remember you brought it over to.
I brought the thing everywhere.
Yeah, you brought it everywhere.
I just trying to show off how cool this thing was.
It was a hot commodity that first year to be like, look, it hooks up with AV cables.
It was we talked about AV cables. We talked about that area where you were sort of like, I don't know if I'm going to follow this in the next generation.
Yeah.
He brought it over and okay, Twisted Metal is fucking awesome. Mortal Kombat 3, don't care.
Yeah. But I was such an arcade person. I was like, look, it's just like the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like the arcade.
Like, actually, when Street Fighter Alpha came out, I was like, it's just like the...
Did I say that being over at your house and playing Loaded? I'd only read about Loaded. Yeah. And playing Loaded, fucking fantastic.
It was a game music of the day last week.
On your giant television, because you're down with the televisions.
Yeah, I mean, we always had hand-me-downs. It was like, there was like a 50-inch CRT projection that 1 out of 100 times would just not turn on.
And this is 1995. Like, nobody had that except, I'm not saying anything about anybody in the room, but the irresponsible dad. the dad who somehow just showed up one day with a 60-inch television. The wife wouldn't talk to him for a while. So you guys had several of those.
Yeah, they were. We had warehouses full of broken TVs, and sometimes we could fix them and sell them, and sometimes if they had a little flaw, we would just take them home.
So what I asked our readers to do is to ask questions about current televisions.
Oh yeah, that's great. I mean, I this is what I do every day. I have to answer these same kind of questions every day, and I love TVs. I love talking about them. So.
And somebody asked, why do my older games? I think he said maybe specifically Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that look weird on my new HD television?
Well, I mean, I want to say primarily it's just these games are made in 480i resolution, and when you get that, any kind of HD television, it displays only its native resolution. If you have a 720p set, that's going to be something like 1376 by 768.
Oh my goodness!
And if you're in a 1080p TV, it's something like 1900 by 1080. So what it's doing is it's basically like blowing that up and downscaling it or upscaling it to its native resolution. I mean, you see if you put it on an emulator, everybody here plays emulator games, so let's not kid. It just looks like crap when you're widescreen.
I would imagine
netbook.
It's the pixels that you're used to seeing tend to overlap into other pixels.
Well, it also kind of depends too, because it's like each one of these TVs that has its scaling board, its video processing board, is going to scale things differently, and some do it better than others. I mean, some of the best I've seen have been typically like Sony's, and some of the worst I've seen have been just like no-name budget brand. But still, I mean, with that kind of 480i signal, it's just hands down. I mean, it's like if you look at analog cable, on your HD TV. It looks like crap.
It looks terrible. That's what I have right now.
But if you get just like a 27-inch flat CRT, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's what these sources are intended for.
And that's why when you get it like a pixelated game on Xbox Live, it comes in its own frame, so they can absolutely 100% maintain the pixel ratio.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will not work.
Noticed I had my NES up till this year hooked up to a Samsung 35-inch. It was an HD TV, but it was still tube.
Yeah,
and it looked
good. Yeah.
It looked great. And then I hooked it up to a LCD Philips TV, and it actually still looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I sold the tube TV to Lizzie, actually, of all people, for $50, and we got a Sony Bravia. like 35-inch or whatever and put it in this other room, and the NES games kind of look like crap on it, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of bummed because it used to look fine, and now the better TV it looks crappy.
I want to say at some point there will be a setting built in.
I wish they would think of
games.
that. Like, that'd be nice.
Because I mean, yeah, it's basically, I mean, it's blowing up and stretching something that it's not its native resolution. You're taking something 1/4 basically the size and blowing it up to 4 times as much. It's gonna take a crappy picture, the JPEG, blow it up 4 times.
Oh, I wanted to ask because I hate to see people who don't have still have standard definition televisions. There's certain games out right now that require HD.
Yeah.
We mentioned Dead Rising a lot.
Dead Rising and fucking Red Dead. If you don't have an HD TV, I don't know how you can read anything on that screen. I can barely read the prompts on HD.
I'm kind of like, what the fuck are you doing with a 360 without an HD TV?
Sort of. They're about the same price.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a small HD TV.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when like 2005, you would be searching for a reason to put something high def on your TV. If you had a high def TV in 2005, you were searching for something, and you could find. Dead Rising was one of the first examples of something you could really take advantage of that. But yeah, nowadays I kind of feel tough luck.
You got to have one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be doing high resolution gaming, then you need to have a high def TV.
But if you had to recommend a brand, what's a good brand to go with?
I mean, yeah, if you're going to be entering the market of HD TVs and you don't have a lot of money. I would say...
Yeah, because I keep seeing... I'm actually seeing television commercials for Vizio.
Yeah.
Which I used to consider,
I had a Vizio.
The worst thing you could ever have.
It was actually fine.
Was it fine?
Yeah.
Was it high def?
Yeah.
No, Vizio actually I do like very much as a brand. But I only would give one slight recommendation over them. Vizio, I mean, as far as the picture quality, is very surprisingly good. I've seen a lot of them.
Super cheap, by the way.
Yeah, and very cheap. I'm very surprised. They've got a good marketing campaign. They're selling a lot of them. Their reliability, I can't really say because I only look at broken stuff. So I can't really comment about how reliable one thing is over the other. But
sure, you can. Well, it comes in more often than not. Because I remember, another question.
Let me finish this one first. But Vizio I like very much. They have a great picture. They seem to be pretty reliable. My only problem is just that I mean I can get parts for them. They are very serviceable, but they do not have any kind of service presence in the United States. If your 42-inch Vizio breaks, as far as I've known in the last few months, they may have changed their service policy, but you have to send it into California.
Yeah.
And if you don't live here, you're going to have to mail it, and you're probably going to have to pay for shipping and probably purchase a mailer from them. So your in-warranty thing could cost you $40 to maybe $100 to ship it to be repaired. Sometimes they have service areas that may or may not be anywhere near you. So, I mean, there might be somebody in 3 states away that's not going to come help you. Established companies have established service people that are going to be somewhere close to you, and that they will come.
Who's the best for that, for the most part?
Well, I mean, the
not
big
necessarily
companies
for you.
The big companies, they have the biggest service presence. They have the biggest amount of material. They have the service people that they're
So if I buy a Sony TV,
it's guaranteed pretty much anywhere you're going to find somebody. They're going to pay somebody even if they had to drive 2 or 3 hours to go to your house. One thing I would say, but for the budget brands, I highly recommend Sanyo. Sanyo's sold at every Walmart. It's only sold through Walmart. So practically wherever you live, you can find a Sanyo. Also, within the first 3 months, you get a return policy. You can return it to the store. So if you have any problems in the first 3 months, you don't have to call anybody. You just bring it right back.
And some of the TVs do shit the bed in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean it's not incredibly common, but I mean I think the average failure rate for TVs is something like 7%.
Just to know if I talk to my dad or my grandfather, if a television shit the bed and just completely broke in 3 months, it would be dead. It never would have progressed this far. And I've just, knowing you, I've seen that happen.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've definitely fixed stuff in that short of a time frame. But, like I said, if there's some people out there that are looking, what do I buy right now? I want to upgrade to an HD TV. I don't have a whole lot of money. I would say, 32-inch Sanyo at Walmart is something like $325.
Wow.
I couldn't recommend anything better for the price.
And DLP is dead.
DLP is pretty much dead, although competitively, I mean, for the the projection sets are still very thin. They're very light. I mean, you could get you and any able-bodied person.
But
you get a 90-pound girl
with
an elderly
for a
person.
gamer, there's a delay there.
No.
No?
I mean, it's basically the same. It's almost exactly the same technology as like the LCD sets.
Well, that's what. Let me ask you. That originally asked, what's the best plasma, LCD or LED?
Well, there isn't really a best. I mean, it just depends on like what. Really, the main thing you should be concerned with is which one has the best picture that you like. Go to the store, take a look at them. They each have their pros and cons. I mean, plasmas, they just really have a bad rap. I mean, they don't really have the margin of error in them between them and LCDs and other sets is very small. They're almost equally reliable.
Are they more susceptible to burn-in?
If you own a bar or a restaurant and you're watching the same thing, or
if you play games a lot with HUDs.
But I mean, you have to be playing like the same game every day with no break for like 60 to 90 days continuously.
All right, we're dispelling myths.
I mean, the only burn I've ever seen has been from restaurants and bars and professionals who use it as like. We had a couple military bases who brought in things with like a radar screen that permanently burned in. But I've never seen a consumer model that's had that.
That's weird because I had neither. But then I went to my friend's house a couple weekends ago, and I don't remember the brand sadly, but it was an HD TV, and he had little burn-in on his TV from the when a game is when there's no input and it's just like no signal in the corner, and literally like the no signal was burned into the screen, and I was like, how do you live with that? He's like, oh, right, yeah, the burn-in. How long did you leave that there?
Right, yeah, I mean, the Chinese restaurant we worked at.
The only time in my life I've ever...
The Chinese restaurant we worked at, like...
Other than Miss Pac-Man machines.
You turn it off and there's just a Fox News logo. Like, always there.
But, I mean, also that there is a certain, like, refresh rate, like, refresh time period where a lot of times if you just let that sit, you know, within... 15, 20 minutes at worst, that kind of no signal thing will go away. Unless, like, I mean, he left it there for an exceptionally long period of time.
When I bought a television, I was under the understanding that, like, if a plasma does break, which they were doing a lot, it's a lot more expensive to replace than an LCD.
Well,
or an LED.
One of the things is just that plasmas, by their design, have about 9 or 10 major assemblies that can potentially go bad. There's only really 3 or 4 that commonly go bad. And in LCDs is the same thing. They have about 3 or 4 assemblies that commonly go. So they have less parts that can break, potentially. But when I mean, there's 3 things that are regularly replaced on plasmas very regularly. And when you compare that it's 3 of them versus 3 of them in the LCD, it's not that it's kind of mitigated. Also, with plasmas, they tend to be able to be more repaired at the component level. Like, I can just take out little capacitors and fuses and stuff, whereas, like, LCDs tend to be, they're all, like, flat-mounted, double-sided boards where, I mean, I can't replace that with my hands.
Which means shipping and...
It means I need to replace that board because that needs to be serviced by a machine.
Well, what about LEDs?
So
LEDs are like this. They're the same. LEDs, LCDs, the same thing.
So a capacitor is a real thing.
Not the flux capacitor.
I've only heard this word in fairy tales.
That is the key.
What about the proto-capacitor?
I think that's a Mega Man character.
I want to know, how do they get the little people in there?
Yes.
I mean, these little people in this box they're telling me about Swiffers.
Well, it's interesting that you asked that. Have you ever seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Oh, I have very recently with Matt.
Is that how they do it?
Have you seen the ride?
Is that what they do?
So it's full of bees and Cheerios.
Yeah. Well, basically, when Mario's running, there's a little Italian guy and a little hamster wheel.
And, Transmatrix asks, how soon until we start seeing 4K displays? 4K, if you don't understand, 1080p, that's 1K. Whoa. 0.08.
No way.
4K I think is how we see, right?
Well, it's going to be it's like 2K is as far as I understand. 2K is 1980 by 1080. 4K would be something like I've actually got it written down. 4096 by 2160.
It's sort of like film quality.
It's just higher resolution.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's just higher resolution. And I mean, it's like, well, how long did it take us to get from 480i to 1080p?
Oh my god!
I mean, we keep jumping at a certain rate. I know that I've heard of like foreign countries have been, I think in Korea or something, they've made some 4K films and 4K projectors. But as far as in the home, I mean, right now we don't even have hardly anything that supports 1080p. The only thing we've got is Blu-ray and some video games. And current infrastructure for like
that's right. All the Halo games run at 640p. It is. It's true. People get mad over that.
Current infrastructure for like cable and satellite do not support a bandwidth that can support a 1080p live broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, all your stuff that you're getting, like HD, Comcast, Dish, whatever, is 1080i. Now Dish does have something where they have a video on demand service, which is 1080p, but it's basically you're downloading the product and then you get to watch it later after it's recorded on a hard drive.
No streaming.
So it's not like you're watching it. It's not like a live channel.
So when I watch, like, I have an HD TV and I have an HD antenna, and I watch the shitty Lost finale live. So what's that
1080i?
Okay, that's what it is.
That's a standard HD broadcast. It's just current infrastructure does not support 1080p.
Maybe eventually. The elephant Manchurian candidate asked if could an affordable 3D TV exist that doesn't require glasses.
Well, they do have. It's like Korea or China, I think, introduced a like $20,000 lenticular type 3D TV.
Wow.
Which is, if you've seen the lenticular, like the little cards and stuff, the Trapper Keeper notebooks.
Like a hologram.
Yeah, like a hologram. You
really
look at a
cool
certain
mouse
way.
pad.
Yeah, it's like that. And
probably what a 3DS will look like.
So you don't. You don't need glasses with those, but they require you to be standing in a specific spot to view the 3D image. There's been some talk of maybe introducing a television that has like something with a motion tracking that can kind of track you so that you'll always be in the sweet spot so you can see the 3D type. But I mean, they just introduced one. It's like $20,000 in a foreign country. I don't think we'll be seeing that anytime soon. We're just getting our active shutter 3D TVs here with the glasses.
I mean, clearly it could only track one person and respond to them.
Exactly.
So mom sitting over there, dad and his.
No, it just seems like a lot of. It really seems like after 1080p.
I have family members in a wheelchair and live on an incline.
I live my life 45 degrees at a time. It just seems like everything after 1080p is almost like frivolous technology. Yeah. It's like no, this looks as good as it gets, and everything beyond that, when you get to 3D and all that shit, it's like, do we need that for my games?
I do agree with you, but I will say this: as an avid PC gamer, I thought that things couldn't get any better when I saw Half-Life 1 in 1997 at 800 by 600, and I just spent $1,200 or something building a rig so I could play Crysis in 1980 by 1900 by 1200.
But I'm just wondering, like, after 1080p, can the picture get better?
I mean,
is there still room to grow?
Especially as TVs get
Because when I watch when I watch something like, say, Blue Planet or something like that in 1080p on a Blu-ray, I'm like, what the fuck? It looks like I'm standing.
Well,
there.
you should be watching Planet Earth. I got to correct Elston one time.
Blue Planet
is an old BBC documentary. Planet Earth is the hyper-expansive HD.
Planet Earth is a great single by Duran Duran.
It does look pretty amazing, and I guess maybe we can't really understand what could be to come.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
Well,
at the same time,
part of it has to do with widescreen, and that TVs aren't going to get more square-y. They have to get huge to encompass the widescreen frame. And so that's why you see 60-inch televisions. And once they're blown up that high, yes, you can tell a difference in between 1080p. You will start to see it more and more.
That's a great point that you make there, is because, like,
you know what you do? You stand back farther. And it looks better.
If you live in a San Francisco apartment, which is basically a hallway, that's awesome.
Exactly. The closer you're sitting to that TV, I mean, at 55 inches and up, you're going to really notice the difference at 1080p.
Yeah, I'm watching Assassination of Jesse James on my Blu-ray HDMI 1080p, and I'm fucking pissed. Like, I wish it could do better.
So when will I have just like a thing in my spinal cord that just like projects it into my brain? Do you work on that? Do you make those?
I think.
Do you work on? Do you service Existence?
I'm anticipating 20XX.
20XX.
Okay. That's when Dr. Wily sends all the robots.
I know.
When we have fighting robots in the year 20XX.
Okay, so it's before 2100.
But
I know that much.
A lot of people wanted to know. I think I have written down Mariner 96 and Boondock Saints 54 is 3D are 3D TVs just a fad or a gimmick?
Well, that's also a great question.
The current ones.
I personally, I'm big on just buying like the new stuff. Like I like new stuff, I'll buy it. But right now, today's economy, not really feeling. I don't know how it's gonna. I don't really know how it's gonna pass up by. A lot of times, like a lot of people I've talked to, just don't seem to have that much interest in it. A lot of people are not that impressed by.
I don't really like it that much.
Yeah. I feel I personally would say I think it's a fad, but the companies have the support behind it. I mean, they're projecting growth. By 2012, a lot of major companies are talking about having their over 50% of their sets being manufactured and sold are going to be 3D capable. And this is now. I mean, the only people that have any out are Samsung and I think Panasonic. As far as you can buy right now, if I want to go today and go to Best Buy. And that's what I gauge it by. I'm not talking about ordering it directly from a company or from a professional home installer.
Where normal people would buy it.
If I want to go to a store right now and go buy something, I can really only get Samsung or Panasonic.
But I mean, if it's going to exist and just be in everything, then I guess does it matter? Like eventually, it won't be a 3D TV; it'll be a TV.
It's weird.
It is kind of that thing. It's also kind of funny how we still say HDTV when it's like
it's just
I can't buy a non-HD TV.
But like 3D.
If you really look in the back, there's like one. I mean,
has
seriously, literally, there's like one no-name 19-inch CRT, like
Sony or magnet box.
Yeah.
3D has been a gimmick.
Danyo or something. Like
I would say Danyo. 3D has been proved to be a gimmick 40 times over a period of 60 years.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
And nobody wanted it in movie theaters. Nobody wanted it on televisions, and nobody.
Well, but the thing too is that up until now, I mean, they haven't really had a technology that can really. I mean, you got your green and your blue glasses. You have this color loss. You have this you have to have a polarized screen and polarized glasses like in a movie theater. Now they have the potentially. I actually haven't even seen one of these up close, just because none of the companies I service manufacture any of them currently. There's none that you can go buy right now. There's none in training. They're coming in the chute for our company, but I haven't even seen them. I don't even know if they even look that good. But they do have the potential there to have it without the color loss, without having to have like a weird screen that's like film that has a certain film on it that you can't watch normal things on.
I think that's what they want. They want to make sure you can't pirate it as easily by broadcasting a certain signal that you can't see.
That's good. I mean, something you mentioned before is by making 3D movies and making a big deal out of it. It's like
No, you have to go to the
fucking
3D.
theater.
Anywhere else?
Go to the goddamn theater and watch Avatar.
But then it's like it's totally.
But Avatar is the most impressive 3D I've ever seen.
It was good,
and the parts where it was great don't matter enough for me to spend a dime on.
That's how I feel. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a fad. I personally like going to the movies, and I do think that I don't really want to pay. If I'm going to spend like $3,500, I got to at least go into the movie like 45 times with my girlfriend to justify the purchase of having to pay that much versus having it in the home. And I just would rather go to the movie theater and watch 45 3D movies over there than buy it in my home, possibly adopt a technology that might be outdated in 6 months.
And it seems like it took forever for 3D to be accepted in theaters, and it seems like now it finally has because it's an acceptable thing. I'm not used to
acceptable. It's a measure to counter piracy.
Piracy, yeah. But I mean, it's at the point now where like no one feels. Well, I can't say no one, but most everyone is accustomed to putting on the glasses. And if you get a reasonable seat, not like when I saw fucking Coraline, I was in the front row all the way to the right.
Yeah, so that's the worst spot.
So it was actually like, wow, this movie looks like shit. What does everyone love this so much for? But then but I don't want that in my house. Like I think now I think it'll maybe take another 20 years before the house 3D gets to the point where the movie
I don't think it's going to be quite that long. I mean,
maybe not because everything's accelerating.
In terms of games, like when Resident Evil went over, is because depth is already measured in the game.
Yeah,
and they can sort of display that, especially if they're doing the polarizing effect.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about how they filmed it. The data's there.
The data's there.
They can write it.
That would be truly the only selling point to me, and I would hope to gamers as well, is if they can do 3D really well for gamers, and right now it is a little bit more money. If you're going to buy a new TV right now, if you want to buy a top end TV, you're going to spend, let's say you want to spend $2,500 to $3,000, or maybe $2,000 to $2,500 for a high end. This is high end stuff. You're just going to spend about the same price for a 3D ready television, and you're going to spend $200 each on each pair of the glasses.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then you're also going to have to buy a 3D Blu-ray DVD player.
That's a lot of D's.
That's a shitload of D's.
I have a question. Like all these D's and P's. And
That's
I's.
more D's than President Bush's report card. Oh! High five. High five.
Relevance.
Are the other
You called him president.
Well, they're always president.
I know.
True.
You say former
Which is
president.
something actually like Obama's in town, or he was at least. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm staying at the Fairmont, where I'm staying in right now.
Wow, really?
Oh, cool.
Is there security there?
No. He wasn't staying there.
Yeah,
He
gone.
did a benefit, and then
We got a warning to leave work late or early because
Yeah,
the
they were
motorcade
shutting
was
down the
coming.
highway.
He was flying into SFO, and they were going to shut down 101. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave early. And as I'm driving out, I see this giant plane, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Air Force One!
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
totally was. And I just watched it fly into SFO, and I was like, dude, Obama's totally like sitting there having, I don't know.
Air Force One always has a doctor in
Tyler Wilde.
on staff,
Big
right? ready to go. He has a doctor on the
Like,
plane.
I've been trying to mention this. I saw that like the television stations we're behind 3D. We're going to produce stuff in 3D.
Yeah.
And NBC was one of the people who signed on. And what's NBC's highest rated show? NBC pledged
Seinfeld reruns.
3D support for The Office.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's your highest rated show.
What the fuck?
But why who would that motivate?
Mugs. They're just
Who
gonna
would that
throw mugs
motivate?
at all
Oh
day.
man, Steve Carell's awkwardness is totally in my face.
I guess 30 Rock or SNL would be a big draw.
I
But
would
even
imagine-
that's
what
not
would they
3D.
do?
That's not 3D TV. Like
3D
who
is an
cares?
action immersement.
Yeah.
30 Rock could write a good enough script to make
Probably.
it.
Yeah, but 30
doable.
Rock would once be able to make fun of 3D.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like no, you can't.
I
Make,
imagine-
you're doing it. Stop making.
Well, it's
fun
that,
of it.
it's that same thing of like when I got my fucking Anchorman Blu-ray that came with. That's like, no, this isn't funnier in 1080p. Like I don't need comedies in crystal clear detail.
Yeah, I don't need talkies. I don't need.
I thought
1080.
Duck Soup would have been funnier if it was in widescreen.
Like, thank you for shipping with Talladega Nights. They really made the movie funnier.
Holy shit! Like if I hadn't seen another Blu-ray after that Talladega Nights Blu-ray, I would have firebombed.
I finally watched Star Trek, the 2009 one on Blu-ray a few weeks ago, and it looked really good.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
the new ones
it's
look
phenomenal.
really good.
I loved that movie.
The new Blu-rays have been
And just looks pretty.
incredible.
It looked fantastic. Yeah.
Where were we? Were we?
Sorry,
Next question.
sorry. Let me
Did
get
I
to
finish the last one?
I forgot what it was.
Oh, I think were we talking about? We did the non-glasses one, the particular one.
No, yeah, we did that one.
Oh, well, I was going to say as far as I think it was, is it a fad or is it a gimmick? I kind of think so. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But I mean, if you want to go buy high end stuff and you want to just buy and you're going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on TV anyways, why the hell not? You're going to spend $3,000 on TV anyways. You get the 3D ready one. You spend an extra $400 on glasses.
Fuck this stuff.
And if you have a PS3, there's a firmware update coming later this year that will allow you to play 3D Blu-rays. So you won't need to buy a new 3D Blu-ray player. If you have a standard 3D Blu-ray player, you need to buy a 3D one in order to use it with your set.
Didn't want to update the Blu-ray player?
Could they do that
yeah.
through the firmware?
Yeah, Sony is not boasting, but saying that
No, they own a movie company.
you're going to be able to just download a firmware update and play 3D Blu-rays on there, whereas current owners of any Blu-rays are
That may be a TalkRadar exclusive.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't have a sound effect. TalkRadar exclusive.
I feel like I read that on your guys' site. That was definitely not like an inter-office Sony memo or anything to me.
It's HBO. News that I didn't even get to write about that HBO had pledged support for the PS3. HBO had long been the holdout for the watch online era. Like they didn't support any of that, and PS3 got it first. But I think Netflix is getting it too. Sorry.
was going to say, yes, poor, stupid Netflix. Nobody watches that.
Yeah, but their business model doesn't. I remember HBO shows coming out on DVD when DVD first started, and here's 12 episodes. That'll be $85.
Yeah. Dude, I own all 7 seasons of Next Generation. Every one of them was $100 fucking.
Yes, that's true.
Because
that was 24.
Yeah, 24 episodes.
$100.
I'm just saying they were more.
And they're not in
expensive.
HD because they were made in 1987 through 1994.
They were more expensive. They were more expensive to produce than 6 Feet Under.
Oh yeah, that
which
show
I
was
paid $85.
production power.
I really wish people treated movies like they treated games, just because it would be funny. This new Will Ferrell movie's not true 1080. What?
Yeah. I counted the lines.
I'm not gonna buy this. Like there was there was an article on Cracked about why no one respects gamers, and like one of the entries was like, we're so fucking the sense of entitlement and the love of gadgets, and there was he linked to a thread where someone started counting the diagonal the pixels in Alan Wake's screen. Remedy's fucking sold out. I'm not going to buy this game. The aspect ratio is not.
That's the weird thing. Respectable gaming is in the bit era. And right now, anything in between isn't important. It's I only like silent movies and James Cameron 3D movies.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Sorry, one last question. God damn it, we have to go to break. Chabarashka?
Oh yeah, he had some good, I looked at the thing.
I love this.
Yeah.
Like CRT TVs, are the guts of 3D TVs and HD TVs still toxic?
Yeah. Well, every monitor has some level of toxic material in it.
Really?
The CRTs have toxic parts in them. They have phosphorus lining.
I remember being with you. You let me kick in a television screen or bash it with a rock one time, and a giant poof of smoke. It imploded in a giant poof of smoke that just looked toxic.
Well, no, we did that because there's a potential if you have to break it at the neck where the pressure will all explode out. And if you break it in the front, it could potentially, I've never ever heard of this happening before, but if you break it in the face, it could potentially be harmful. So if we threw those away and some kids messed around, that they could potentially get hurt. So we just did that as a safety precaution for kids will smash TV screens if they see them in the dump or whatever.
Thank you for letting me do that, by the way.
Yeah,
it was right after we had a lightsaber battle with fluorescent light tubes.
I'm really jealous. I've always wanted to smash.
Fucking awesome. It makes a great sound, dude.
But even LCDs, they have a little bit of mercury, and mercury is one of the most toxic substances known to man. You have to, in pretty much every state, you have to. I mean, I'm legally obligated. I have to recycle them. I cannot just throw them in the dump because they have mercury in them. But,
So why do we put mercury in them? Is there no? Is there no possible alternative to using mercury in them?
It's just for the backlighting. It's for it has to do with what the backlight illumination in the back of the screen. I don't think LEDs have them because LEDs are, as far as I know, I don't know of any fully LED backlit television. What they have is they have a couple of fluorescent tubes in the middle and then an outline of LEDs. I think they may have some that are fully backlit now, but I don't service any brands that have LED backlit.
How much?
I can't say for certain.
Go ahead.
The CRTs, they have a massive capacitor in them, right? That, even if it's unplugged and you opened it.
That is our new techno band name.
No,
massive capacitor.
Is that right? I always heard.
No, they have a transformer that attaches to the back. It's that looks like a little nipple that goes in the back. And if you take that off and you touch it, it can give you a slight shock. If you had it plugged in, it could hurt you. But if you just took that off, and it would just give you a mild shock.
No, I mean I've always heard that old school TVs, if you open them up not plugged in, they still have the potential to electrocute you.
Capacitors can give you a mild shock, but unless you're an infant or an old person, it probably is not going to kill you.
Well,
it would be highly likely that it could kill you.
Only if you can be killed by a water slide. They'd be dangerous.
I can't imagine, even for an old person, that it could kill them, unless they had a really bad heart condition. I've been shocked many, many times with those things, I'll tell you that.
I've seen it happen.
Is it a cussing shock or?
Yes, it's a cussing shock.
It's like I like the battery shock or something. It's so minor.
I want to know why TV manufacturers hate the future.
Oh, man.
B, David Cronenberg. Because everything...
Farewell to the new flesh!
All right, okay, because, like, what looks cooler than, like, the tracking on a VHS tape getting all fucked up? That's the future.
Yes.
That's futuristic, and they're fucking it up with all these really nice displays.
I want to see Tim and Eric's awesome show.
Should have a green
4000p.
I think you guys might have just stumbled onto something that I can't really talk about.
I mean, let's make some steampunk TVs and bring this.
We should still get a break. We should still get a break because we have splitreason.com T-shirts to give away. A giant community segment.
And I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and answer. Like for some of the people that didn't get answered, I'll go ahead and answer them. For
Oh
them so
no! By all means.
What's that?
More Mario music. And in this break, I just was going to play something off of Nick Swardston's new album, Seriously, Who Farted?
It was mostly you, this segment. What happened? What did you eat for lunch, buddy?
That's what it was. Nothing. Oxygen. I had oxygen, and so now I have a chatty hind.
You just swallowed
What
some
are you playing?
Nick Swardston's Seriously, Who Farted?
What is that?
It's a comedy album.
Comedy.
By a comedian.
Uh-huh.
You may know him from several Adam Sandler movies. He's
Oh,
Grandma's
man.
Boy. He's the roller. He's the roller prostitute. In Wiener 911.
I pay attention to the other people in Adam Sandler.
Wow, I've seen an Adam Sandler movie since Big Daddy.
Forgot we were all that cool. All right.
What the fuck?
All right.
I'm not in high school. I don't watch Adam Sandler.
Go ahead. You watch Talladega Nights. That's
on a plane.
Nice. Break.
It's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to Talk Radar on GamesRadar.com.
Everyone thinks I'm gay, which is understandable. Yeah, of course. I played a gay roller skating prostitute on TV. But another reason people think I'm gay is because on my MySpace profile, under sexual orientation, I put not sure. Yeah. Not because I'm not sure. I just love that was an option. For sexual orientation. That's an option, not sure. They have straight, gay, bisexual. No fucking idea, dude. No idea. Like, who is that for? You have no idea. Like, not even close. Like, I have no idea what's going on. like, who is that for? Are there people out there like, dude, I just jerked off looking at my stove. What does that mean? Dude, I have no idea. I'm gonna put not sure. That is a mystery right there. Whatever that wants. Do not know. No clue. And this happened to me. This is a true story. I'll tell a couple true stories here tonight. All of them 100% true. This happened to me, I think it was in the fall. And I play a lot of online video games. I don't know if anybody else plays like Xbox Live or anything. Yeah, girlfriends love those, by the way. I love girlfriend fights when you're playing Xbox and you can always hear the guy, what's that? I'm gonna play one more game. Yeah, just go to bed. Yeah, you can go to bed. I don't have to be there. Yeah, no, we're winning right now. We've won like... Is that a real gun? Okay, put that down. Put that down. That's not funny. But like, you get into it. I mean, you go on these battles and shit. And I get like way too into it, where it's like, this is not healthy. Where I'm like, I throw stuff and just shout in my little headset. You get this little headset. And you can play online, so you can play with people all over the world, which is cool, but it's like frustrating. Because you'll just get the shit kicked out of you by like some 9-year-old kid in Germany. You know, it's like, you lose. I'm like, really? Really, you fucking Nazi? I will get out. It's a freak out. But so I do, like I break stuff, I get so into it. So I live in an upstairs apartment, in like a duplex. Nobody lives beneath me. So it was empty for the longest time. So I would play video games, no joke, from like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night till like 6 in the morning. I'd play all night. So nobody lived beneath me, so it was cool. So one day this girl moves in, Christina is her name. Cute girl, small, like mousy, little mousy chick, but very sweet. So she moves in, I just keep doing what I'm doing, playing video games, breaking stuff, drunk, meet my friends, yelling. So one day I go to my mailbox to get my mail, and I see her, and she sees me. I walk out, and she's like, and I'm like, what's going on, Christina? How are you? And she's like, fine. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she goes, what is going on up there? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, all the yelling and the breaking things, just all night screaming. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, me and my friends play online video games. And she goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, we play like Halo and stuff. And she's like, oh, thank God. And I'm like, why? Swear to God. She goes, oh, thank God. I thought you guys were shooting hardcore gay porno. True story. And I'm like, what? And she goes, I don't know. She's like, you come home drunk at like 10 o'clock at night, you and your friends will go upstairs, and then 10 minutes later right here, suck my fucking dick, bitch. Yeah, suck my dick. Suck it, motherfucker. Yeah, suck it. Yeah, take that, bitch. Take that. Suck it. It's like, oh boy. Oh boy. That made me laugh. But then it also made me realize that I could now shoot hardcore gay porno at my house if I wanted to. Just to like mess with her, like me and my friends walk out outside naked with boners. What are you doing? We're playing video games. What's your problem? You're being a bad neighbor. It gets hot, it's exciting.
You stupid man. Ha ha ha.
Apple reveals new service for authors to sell their books directly in the iBookstore.
Totally.
Stop using I.
God
damn.
But the iPod.
What about the Nook e-reader?
Fucking e-reader. God.
The Nook e-reader.
The Nook e-reader.
That stupid
Limp
piece of
Bizkit did
shit.
it all for that reader.
I had to stock so much of that garbage and then explain, no, you scan these cards. See, look, we have this well, you scan it this way.
What are we talking? What is it? What is this?
You flip it over.
What is this now?
The Nintendo e-reader.
Ah, I see.
Scan games on cards.
E-reader. TalkRadar segment 3.
Yeah, the e-reader.
More Mario Galaxy. I did want to say I caught a picture of Tyler Wilde peeing in said wild.
Who knows what he's doing? Who knows?
And I didn't tell this story last week, but I went outside drunkenly, after the second segment, and I was holding a beer, and I'm a little drunk, and I'm going to pee in the woods like a man at an office. I crossed the
a salary professional.
I'm walking across the road, and a car comes up, and we just were both at like fucking stalemates or something. Like I didn't know what to do. I'm holding a beer and standing in the middle of the street, looking at the headlights. I felt like a wild animal.
Huh?
Like I knew exactly how a wild animal felt because I have an instinctual need right now, and if they don't go away, I can't do that. So I just
Shining there.
Please go around me, even though I could move.
What are these bright discs in my face?
Go around. Wait, who wants to do game deals?
Nobody.
Everybody. Good job.
What are you? Save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
I do like that. I do love the jingle.
Jingle is good.
Is delicious.
Jingle is good. Only because you don't hear it anywhere but here.
That's true. It's totally unique.
GameStop has, as of this recording, Super Mario Galaxy 2, $49.99.
No.
With $20 future credit.
Well, that's pretty
insane. Yeah. They have a lot of
no
stuff
reason
with
not
that.
to get it.
That's them really trying to get back at Amazon.
Yeah,
it sounds
Amazon, like, the game deals are almost boring because it all involves future credit from Amazon and GameStop, who are clearly like, it's almost like, is this the end? Like, why are you guys going all Highlander right now?
There's plenty of people buying games from multiple sources. Like,
no.
I just can't do it from Amazon because there's, I want to buy that game now.
That's
I don't wanna
my
wait,
biggest problem because I ordered Mario Galaxy 2 weeks ago, and Henry had to give me his, and it's still not here.
Charlie did the same thing. He ordered it, and then he says he got an email today that says we'll be shipping this item June 2nd.
Oh, I got $20 game credit for something I don't want.
They actually have to go into the Amazon and get the copy. And,
Nintendo is based in the Amazon.
Fuck that. When Harry Potter came out,
2001 November.
When Harry Potter, the seventh book, Deathly Hallows, they sent it in a package.
Summer
Do not open until the date because they sent it early for people who pre-ordered it
and told you not to open it.
Well, with special packaging
Don't
and
open
everything.
it.
Like, send it to me early. You know it's not going to get to me in a day.
I believe that was July 2007.
Great. I remember that because I was at a party at Michael's house. And a baby touched me.
Oh yeah,
And-
I do remember that. I walked to a gas station and bought corn nuts.
I was, wow, Michael, I like all your friends. And this kid ran up, and I'm entertaining him, and he just ran up and hugged me. And everybody, like the whole party went silent. And like, oh, what the fuck do I do? This really hot kid is... game deals. Yeah, this is absolutely insane, and I hope it's still going on. Amazon, I can't even speak to the quality of the game. Glory of Heracles?
It's okay.
$10.99? What do you think?
I saw Hank, the motherfucking tank. He got it.
$10.99?
Yeah.
Good price for the game?
Yeah.
$10.99? What if I said, in addition to $10.99 for Glory of Heracles,
you get
a $10 future game credit?
So you're getting the game for what?
99 cents, Brett. But hey, that's not all.
Shit.
Everything on
You're
Amazon,
gonna give
I
me
think, right now has
$20?
is $5 MP3 credit.
MP3 credit?
Amazon has its own like iTunes service, which is technically better than iTunes.
Yeah.
It's a bigger file and it's DRM free. You can play it anywhere.
iTunes is DRM free now. It has been for years.
It has not been. That is a fucking lie.
I download stuff every
That is a lie.
week from
Because you can move shit to and fro on your own computer.
No, it is. They actually went DRM free.
No, they're not DRM free.
I've shared stuff with you.
I
that
do it
bought
too.
on iTunes.
It's DRM the music.
Bullshit. You guys give me something. It says, could you please log into your iTunes
That's an
accounts?
MP3 from the old. Like the new ones didn't retroactively get unlocked. The old ones are still locked. Anything after a date is free.
So
You're
that
right.
Sax with
Okay,
Children album,
everybody ignore the Glory of Heracles deal to use iTunes, like everybody says. Lego
No, for
Rock Band,
$1, like that, whatever. It's
Lego
free.
Rock Band on all platforms is at least $19.99, which is good. Are those songs exportable, or are the old songs exportable to that?
I think they're exportable.
I hope so, because they're great songs.
Yeah, there's some decent stuff.
It's a useless game.
Chris,
but it's-
Chris, Legos can't play guitar.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Yes, they can. They can pluck them. They have 2 picks for hands.
Slap bass. Man.
Also on Amazon, I think still at this moment, as of this writing, Alan Wake is $49.99 with $10 future credit.
Wow, that was quick.
Well, no, Walmart dropped it, and they had to match.
Right.
Match.
See, from my Toys R Us days, I worked at Toys R Us, if you didn't know.
Oh my God, really?
I know, for 5 years.
You did
How
not.
was that?
I know. Well, let me tell you. There's a wiki page that has all the references I've ever made. And here goes another one. I could see how much the games cost us to buy Toys R Us. So, like a $50 game, back when games were $50,
Sure.
after they were $80 on the N64. Thank you very much. Like a typical $50 game cost Toys R Us about $38 to buy.
Really?
So that they'd make the profit of selling it for $50. So if they're selling Alan Wake, which costs $60 for $50,
They're still making a profit.
and then giving you $10 credit or $20
$10 credit.
So they still had to buy it for $38.
But that's you look at that.
For
like,
40
wow, that's
probably.
it's mutually beneficial because that guarantees you have to buy
You have to
something
come
from
back.
them
Yeah.
again.
You're not going to
and-
buy something that's $10. You're going to spend that another $50.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
spend that on something where they have
The
what,
thing
a
is
$20
that still
markup.
shaves $10 off a potential profit of theirs. So it's almost
But
like
it buys
the kind of,
But it's guaranteeing,
Yeah,
almost
someone-
guaranteeing
deals.
potentially $100.
The internet has
Yeah.
made deals available to everybody, but loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty is that's what
Loyalty is the
loyalty
key.
buys.
Please comment on all of our articles.
And also on Amazon right now,
It
PS3. The PS3 version of Red Dead Redemption is $48. Wow, free shipping. Good job. Next week on Xbox Live, there's a bunch of Xbox Live deals coming up. Prince of Persia Classic will be half off at 400 points.
I love the original Prince of Persia. Maybe I'll buy that.
400 points, $5, right?
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
Bought it, never played it.
Yeah.
But it is a nice upgrade.
I'm going to save my money for a rainy fucking day.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Give it to me.
No, not yet. And Watchmen
So well
End of Nye
animated.
next week will be 50% off.
No one
at
cares.
80 at
No,
$10.
no one cares.
No,
Chris,
no,
Chris, no one cares.
All right.
$10? It's going down to 10?
I thought it was $10 to
Still
start
rip
with.
off.
No, I think it was pretty expensive for a DLC game.
Yeah,
Two
it
DLC games.
was very expensive when I first saw it.
Toys R Us. Oh my God. Toys
Never
R Us.
heard of it.
Elite 120 gigabyte 360.
That's what I have. Well, Carolyn has.
Forza 3, Halo ODST, and it comes at Toys R Us only with 3 Platinum Hits games. So Mass Effect.
Oh, you pick them?
You get to pick them. Mass Effect 1, Halo 3.
No, picking between
the
3.
possibilities are endless, but my brain can't think of them.
No,
I do want to say I bet that most of those you can get in a bargain bin for $10. But
Maybe, but like technically suggested retail price on Platinum
least
Hits
20.
games at GameStop and all these other places are $30.
Yeah.
So it's at the most $60 in free games. And 3, I love the more games the better. Fine.
That's still really good. If you didn't, for whatever reason, have it 360. I mean,
My advice,
Yes.
do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy
Community?
day.
community segment.
We doing community?
Let's do that.
We don't have
Community.
one of those.
MB Spicules.
And really
Indeed.
quick, bless everyone who bothers to be in our community.
Yes.
I love,
Sorry about the orange.
I love individually all of you.
We're working on that. We've actually had a
Oh, the
extended
orange
discussion about the orange.
Yes, the
We're
orange
trying
is
to
almost
figure
out of the way. It's funny. That's the discussions about the orange in the forum are the exact kind of emails I wish we could ever make public, where it's like we're seriously dissecting. The thing about the orange is, and it's deadly serious. Well, you know, let's think about this.
I don't see it like
I
that.
find it funny.
I see a bunch of old people who don't want to move, and you have to send them a fucking document.
That's why
Anyway.
I find it funny. Like the orange so far
Fucking
has
terrible.
illustrated the following principles. Like, it's
Now,
just-
if we were to go
No,
with...
you have eloquently given us a reason why you don't want to work. That's what I see. And
Hash
well,
333-333,
La-
maybe a better link.
last week's
Color.
question of the week was, what is a non-video game you rage quit?
such as,
Spicules.
such as checkers or.
Did you have one?
Oh.
You're not a rage quitter.
Well, I have...
You're a fighting game guy, and I haven't seen you rage quit ever.
No, I mean, it's just kind of down... It's looked down upon in the community. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of have that kind of, like, elitist view where it's like, if you're getting beat, you just gotta
you
take
do
it.
not disconnect.
Don't disconnect.
That
Don't,
is-
like, you know, like... I do have that kind of view, but I have definitely, like, rage quit, like, a game of, like... something like apples to apples or categories. You know, just like those ones where it's like, because like me and my girlfriend are incredibly competitive. You know, so we get into this point where sometimes like you're just not agreeing with me to be, you know, to be contrary, and it's like no, I just genuinely don't think that you know, a legume is a actual type of body of water, and and so then we've just you know if there's you know alcohol and being involved, then you can see how one of us can storm off and throw our cards on the floor in a fit and go to bed. So I've definitely been on the end of that, and I have definitely done that.
It is good that you mentioned that because a lot of people mention Monopoly.
Oh yeah,
way too many
I've
people.
I've rage quit Monopoly.
I've never finished a game of Monopoly.
That's the point. Like they almost all end in fuck it.
Like you've clearly you have the monopoly. This game is over.
Not anger. It just seemed like almost like an analogy for all the bankers in the world. The money all exchanges hands. I'm poor. I'm rich. Oh, the tables are turned. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and then I
what
think they
rage
get-
quitting is like rioting. I am poor, you are rich. Now I will destroy your houses with my sweeping hand
And then
of justice.
I think they get Denzel Washington and like Bruce Willis, and then they have a face-off at a bank or something, and that's an analogy for life.
Then what you just said for your lady friend, third to Yu-Gi-Oh and Monopoly was girlfriends. And Sinslaw said, "My girlfriend."
I rage quit a whole relationship.
You did rage quit your
Rage
whole
quit a
relationship.
relationship. Okay. Well, I was going to say about the with the like apples to apples categories, those kind of things. We got to write out an answer. it's like very personal to you. You know, it's not like a game or something, or it's kind of like, it's a game, I'm losing, I'm just being a dick. But if it's like you're specifically rejecting what I wrote, this is my creativity, and you're saying that I'm not creative.
You know what? I didn't even think about this question last week. I once rage quit a swimming race.
Just splashing in place.
Drowning does not count.
I know. I was totally.
Did you
I was
kick the
like
pool on the way out?
I was on a swim team and I was at one of the competitions
Oh, that
and
sounds
like
sexy.
we're swimming. I wore my Speedo.
Oh,
it was,
man.
Oh, I was
Stop
a
it.
sexy 11-year-old.
Trying to conduct this
Just
podcast
totally
here.
smooth.
But yeah, like the kid in the lane next to me kept like encroaching and kept like hitting me. You know how they have the little floating barriers.
Oh,
But
I do.
He kept getting way too close, and his arm would hit me.
Unacceptable.
And like, so I went like 2 laps, and I was getting really pissed at this kid. So I just got out of the pool, pissed off on like the second lap, and everyone's still swimming. I'm just like, no, fuck this kid. This kid.
I hated my answer to that because I said I never rage quit, and the only cute story I had was as a soccer player. Like my teeth were like the last to fall out of anybody, and I'm only hearing like tooth fairy stories and people with missing teeth and pointing that shit out. And I'm on a soccer
rage quit
field.
your baby teeth.
I'm on a soccer field, and like I keep playing with my tooth. I'm too afraid to pull it out, and then I just push it, and I'm like, I'm gonna push this further than it's ever been. And it's been for me. It felt like it was loose for like 3 months, and it pushed it out, and like my front tooth came out, and the ball is coming right towards me. And I just ran off the field with my tooth in the air. Like, yeah!
You had a golden ticket.
I had a golden ticket.
I've got a golden ticket.
Sorry, Sinslaw said the one thing he rage quit that was a non-game. My first girlfriend. It started with both of us madly hating each other, and that stayed the same until I dumped her sorry ass. You see, I'm a masochist, and I have the patience of a priest, so I stayed with this stupid vaginal detritus for 5 goddamn years. And I finally had enough. So after having my very first KFC Double Down, I headed to her place. I broke into her house, took all my shit back. Some shit that wasn't mine that I had always wanted, and took a massive chickeny bacon deuce on her pillows.
Wow.
God, it was beautiful.
I laughed in a weird way and it made my throat crinkle.
Your throat became saran wrap. Sticking to itself. But not to what
That's
you
what
want
it
to put
fucking
it
felt
on.
like.
Meokef said he has many stories, but this one takes the cake. Fucking Uno.
Oh, yeah.
Uno.
Uno, it's number 1.
Uno.
Maybe you've heard of it.
That's the Latin version.
Uno.
One time I went to my
Fucking xenophobic grandmother. I don't play no Uno.
What's the Uno? One time I went to my friend's church for a Christmas party, even though I'm an atheist. And for some odd reason,
You can still go to parties.
Yes. Well, for some odd reason, he decides to lie and say I'm actually Jewish. And that I'm used to temples instead of buildings. Fantastic line. This all plays in later. During the party, me, another friend of mine, her boyfriend, and a, air quotes, special kid, were playing Uno. We were playing teams, and I noticed that they were all cheating. This was making me angry, since the dude was being a total prick about it as well. So I thought of the best way to make him angry, claim that me and the retarded kid were gay lovers. Everyone around us got so uncomfortable, and no one except me was having a good time because I love fucking with Christians. Eventually, after a couple turns, accusing him of cheating, he said, "You want to see if I'm cheating? Search me!" And I calmly ask, take off your pants. The next thing I know, he was about to jump over the table until my friend stopped him. He threw his cards and walked away. I just laughed as he gave me the dirtiest look, but I didn't give a shit. When it was time to leave, I was so annoyed with the whole thing. When we were leaving, I wasn't saying goodbye. I shout, "Hey, Ryan, is Jewish a code for atheist?" And it took him 4 months of shame before he could go back to the church. Neokef, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Felix the cat. I used to rage quit every single physical activity when I was younger. When I was younger, though, I was angry all the time. I hit a girl over the head with a tennis racket because she said I was gay or something. I punched this other girl in the face.
I imagine that would make a really satisfying bounce like off her head.
Kabam! It probably sounded pink.
I really want to hit someone on the head with a tennis racket right now.
I hit a girl over there with a tennis racket because she said I was gay or something. I punched this other girl in the face after she spat at me and I think I pushed her down some stairs a few days later.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, and I punched this other girl in the stomach after she kept running around and shouting stuff I didn't understand.
Jesus Christ.
The funny thing is,
I don't understand.
the funniest thing is, I never got in trouble for any of those things. Felix the Cat, I think you win our Games Radar User of the Week award.
You hit a lot of girls.
You did. You hit a lot of girls and got away Ridley scot-free.
I actually thought of a better one. I did rage quit at playing outside one time when I was younger. Because, and I figured Dan Amrick would probably really appreciate this, but me and my friend, we made a ghetto self-made proton packs out of cardboard boxes, and I believe it was Wheeled Warrior parts.
Oh, wow.
From an action
Jason
set.
the Wheeled Warriors?
And and markers, and we went out to go play on the backyard with them, and these teenage kids came up to us and they're like, "Oh, what you guys doing?" And I felt so ridiculous in this cardboard box strapped to my back with wires and wrote proton pack.
This is a proton
this
pack.
is real.
Like a word bubble with an arrow pointing to it. I assure you, this is from Ghostbusters.
This is real. I nothing, and I threw mine down in anger and walked home.
Wow, that reminds me of I rage quit a coloring book.
What?
Like, I remember it was a stupid line. It was a Mindset Monster coloring book.
Your bestest.
The lines keep moving. How can I stand?
And I remember coloring. It was during my birthday, and I was coloring, and then my mom walked up and said, "Oh, I got you this, surprise extra birthday present," and walked up. It was wrapped, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And I unwrap it. It's the same coloring book. And I threw it down and threw my crowns and walked across the room and yelled at her, "You bought me the same coloring!" God, it's one of those things I remember when I was 16. I remembered that and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Love apologize.
For fuck's sake. Why did
sorry.
you?
I obviously didn't masturbate that hour.
I
was 8.
My mom once brought home stuffed animals for my sister and I. I don't know. I was young. I was in a bad mood, and she brought them to the dinner table and was like, "Hey, I got this for you." I don't want it. My sister took hers. Hers was, I don't know what it was. Mine was a lion, but I don't want it. And that fucking lion sat on her desk in our house for the rest of my life, and I saw it every day and was like, why didn't I just take the lion?
Why did I just take the lion? He didn't go anywhere. All he had to do was sit in my room.
There's daily where I have a facepalm moment where I'm like, God, when I was 8, I said something really stupid in class.
Yeah.
It's like,
all you have to do is
why?
talk about it. That's why I love this. It makes it so much better. All my embarrassments. I do have to say, you brought up Dan Amrick, and I never did play this, but we're all in the throes of Red Dead Redemption fever. And Michael discovered this last week, and I almost feel bad because I wanted Dan on the phone listening to it. But he was trying to look up Capcom's involvement in Red Dead Revolver. And this is what you find if you search YouTube for Red Dead Revolver.
Paying respect to the classic Western movie heroes, Red Dead Revolver will turn players into gunslinging desperados in the American Wild West.
Who's that?
Which is kind of funny if you think about it, since the game is being developed and published by Capcom, a Japanese company.
Okay, I know Dan. We all know Dan. Why does he sound so unenthusiastic?
Yeah,
this is his job. And that's why I was afraid to play it.
Normally, he's very jovial about everything, and it's
he's a fantastic voice read guy.
Yeah.
Dan is practically former actor, professional radio dude. This is just hysterical. What do you think he compares Capcom's Red Dead Revolver to?
Rootin' tootin'.
The name may be a bit unusual, but not since Rising Zan's Samurai Gunman has there been such an intriguing old Western style.
Seriously? That's the one anecdote he made in one podcast about Rising Zan.
It's such a dry read. It's like he's the straight guy in an SNL skit, and somebody's gonna break in and ruin his review.
It sounds like regular broadcast news.
Sounds very undan. He actually sounds, I would say, young. He sounds young here.
It was 04.
Wow, that sounds bad.
but his voice hasn't been gnarled.
He sounds like, no, get in front of
by ravaged by age.
Get in front of this mic. And this is it. Just everybody go out and buy Red Dead Revolver.
Get yourself ready for a shootout at high noon on the American frontier, partner.
Okay.
I find that I resent that.
Back in the community segment. What non-video game did you rage quit? Can't read all of this. I would love to because it's very good. Captain Spatula says, "Let me begin by saying that my tale is quite long, and it doesn't have a happy ending at all. The faint of heart, or those who possess short attention spans may not want to read this. Sadly, it's all true. I was born in 1889 to a poor family in Germany. My name was Adolf Schnickluckenberger. After a few years, I left military school and changed my name to Hitler." So, beautiful answer to what game did you rage quit, and it just ends. So, that's how I rage quit life. Lol. Several paragraphs of Hitler's history, and Chunk097 says, "What non-game made him rage quit? Trying to make an account at GamesRadar."
Oh,
lol.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lol.
I have trouble with that.
Sorry. Stop it. It's so easy. GamesRadar.
It's so easy to just quit, give up.
No. Facebook Connect, guys.
Oh, there is Facebook Connect.
All right. New users. Baby Toucher.
Wow. Not even trying to be creative. It's just that's
Chris
what I do.
Raisin Brantista. Jake Reed 22. My username is longer than Chris Antista's penis. Can you verify this? Have you seen my dick?
I want to say many times, but I haven't seen his username.
That was it.
So if you laid it out though,
I know we had.
Just tell him to come and put his.
We had a
username on the
history.
table,
We played a lot of
get him
games around one
interested.
another, and not a lot of not engaging one another. And then when that wasn't happening, I know I at least put my balls on your face.
It was the shoulder. There was a lot of ball shouldering.
Yeah, isn't this funny?
I'm sorry. It's always funny. Like balls emerging. It looks like a. No, it looks like a top-down shooter villain when you just pull your balls out of your zip hole. It looks hysterical.
It's funny when you're posing for a picture at a holiday at a company party, and then you look at it. Why is Chris's balls next to my face? It's because you pulled them out of your pants.
Because it's always hysterical.
It's always unexpected.
It looks like a uvula in Zero Grab. Balls are hysterical. New users, LooneyMan978. He gave his brother a black eye over Monopoly. Reaver Beaver stuck a hockey stick through a trash can. Initial reaction show. I don't think he's new. I think he had to re-sign up. I'm sorry. Moose have feelings too. New user, and Woody Woodrow and the Pan Flute of Destiny. I hope that's not as creative as it sounds, but it's awesome.
All that would be in GamesRadar.com/forums.
That's true. And this week we're giving away a Split Reason T-shirt, a Mega Man T-shirt. Last week we were giving away a Mighty Kong T-shirt, and the criteria was show us your worst gaming shirt. There was a lot of bad stuff in there, and at the end, the judges, not me, leave me alone. Especially like a lot of people seem to receive like free terrible Wii shirts.
Ooh,
like we can do this, like saying shit like that.
Yes, we can.
But I'm going to give it. What's the username, Tyler?
He is Garfunkling.
Garfunkling for the Pokemon, and it's not that it's a Pokemon shirt.
Wow.
It's just that it's underneath says "Bring It On."
It like "Bring It On" looks like the words are shaking,
which overshadows the great design on the shirt. Like if it was just that, I'd buy it immediately. Not being a huge Pokemon fan, it looks cool. Bring it on.
God, I hate words on shirts.
So how do we give away this Mega Man shirt? We got a Mega Man shirt to give away. You can see it on the TalkRadar 103 page. It's from SplitReason.com. Hank and I's favorite.
Maybe a story about something
favorite
that
Mega Man memory or something. I mean, that's like something that came out when we were. A lot of us, if you're old enough to remember, is a great time in your life.
While we're on the subject
Mega
of
Man
rage
2,
quitting,
Mega Man X,
and this shirt involves Mega Man playing an NES and shooting his television screen in an accident. What's the angriest you've been at a Mega Man game? Any Mega Man game?
Yeah.
Battle
I got
Force?
really mad at 10, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think you could change that to, what's your best Mega Man memory, and then some of them would be rage quitting, some might be a touching story of
Funny how you weren't there for me when I asked, but you're there for me.
I
Hey,
started to
fine,
explain
fine,
and you interrupted
fine.
me with on topic of rage quitting.
Fine. Just any Mega Man
Mom,
memory.
Dad.
Let's make sure this goes to the right person.
Fighting.
In GamesRadar.com/forums, TalkRadar podcast.
GamesRadar.com/
Look for the thread that'll say something about the
Contest. Win this Mega Man T-shirt, and look for it on. Go look at the Talk Radar 103 page. It really helps us out when you just look at the page. There's more people downloading the podcast and going to the forums and looking at the page.
It's true. I look at the numbers.
It's insane.
More people read the forum than look at the page of the actual article.
Look at
And
the page.
download it, then look at.
It'll get my bosses off my ass. I appreciate all the comments. I swear to God.
Yeah, this week's question of the week, which will also be posted on GamesRadar.com/forums.
That's it's not a number.
That's not a number.
No.
It's question 103, I guess, because
I can't wait to get out of like the FM band area of numbers. Every time I do Talk Radar 103,
103.7, the bear. Just pick an animal.
The weather's looking nice and clear over the internet.
103.7, we've got some news.
Once we get past 107,
hey, your traffic's free and clear on the information superhighway. Pull off in the GamesRadar.com/forums exit.
Traffic's being rerouted through the bitmap JPEG highway.
2X down from the dinosaur penis off ramp.
The dinosaur penis off.
We were going to make a button of dinosaur penis off ramp, and then someone's boss said no.
Careful, you can only slide down it with your feet.
Don't go face first, hey. But on the topic of your Mario 2 sudden love fest, and then Mario Galaxy 2 coming out this week, question of the week this week is, what's your favorite sequel of all time? And to kind of the things that come to my mind, I mean, the most obvious one is Donkey Konga 2.
Really?
No. God damn it. I was hoping for a fucking joke.
We
I've had it up here the whole time to remind myself. I had a tab open.
Well, we were,
I was like, I know Brett's going to say Mega Man.
We played Donkey Konga so much at your house.
What a shitty game.
I remember taking girls home from a bar one night. Like, let's go back. My friends got some drinks. We're going to have some fun.
There's this plastic
and we played Donkey Konga.
And we're like, Pokemon.
This plastic.
It's Robin. He needs me, and I need him.
And that's exactly what you want to hear. Babies singing Blink-182 saying it so as I clap on the floor.
I never felt more like a child than when I was 24.
I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me.
Whoa. God, I love Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, but fuck that game. For real, though, Mega Man 2 obviously was the first one that I was like, oh my god! But then also Ninja Gaiden 2 for NES. And then moving on from that, like Contra 3 for Super Nintendo.
It's weird with 2. Oh, okay.
And then a modern one, I guess maybe Metroid Prime was just a sequel that I completely flipped out and just absolutely loved everything.
You can't call that a sequel.
It is a sequel.
It's a new game.
It's the next Metroid game. They could have put a 4 at the end of it, but they didn't.
But it's Prime. It's like its own series.
What about Super Metroid?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's a sequel.
I know there's a continuity there.
Castlevania 4? I don't know. Like, it is really hard to narrow
but
one.
You wouldn't say Echoes
as
your favorite sequel.
I would, except it's not my favorite sequel.
I know. But all right.
But if I had to pick one, I'd go Mega Man 2. Like, that's by far. But all those others, like, there's a lot of great things with the sequel, especially in the 8 and 16-bit days, really outshone the original.
Obviously, I'm going to say Mario 2.
Yes,
but
I would hope.
But a lot, and I'm well aware that a lot of that stems from me not owning the game. I just had to rent it every weekend and see how far I could get. And I did that, explored all the levels, and then I love something about it so much that there's so many things to do in the game that I just try to beat it for time and points and I don't do that anymore.
No, just saying there's so many things to do sounds like a 10-year-old reviewing. This game has a lot of things to do.
They are so good and
many
fun.
graphics.
There's a shitload of stuff. There's it was very rare. I didn't realize
you can jump and also
playing it again. There's There's a dick ton of side scrollers on the NES.
No.
Not a lot of them have a reason to go back or areas you'll never discover.
Metroid.
Sure.
Which is a crappy
one.
Which is aged horribly.
Metroid was a sequel to nothing. But
yeah, I got you.
Metroid 1, you won't find them because there's no map.
There's no map, and it's kind of a crappy game at this point. But
That's
Mario 2,
it.
I agree.
Don't want to talk anymore.
I got to go with Mega Man 2. Just when I think of
no Street Fighter 2. No one can say that.
What about Marvel 2?
Fine, but no one played Street Fighter 1, you can't say Street Fighter 2.
I mean, obviously, Mega Man 2. When I think of favorite sequels, it's just something that I can still go back to, that I would still go back to and play. And I mean, probably the number one for me is PC gamer System Shock 2. And I think why it's so relevant is because BioShock is basically System Shock 2 in an entirely different environment. You have spoiler alerts for people who haven't played either, but you have a ominous person in a position of authority that's feeding you lines that you eventually turn out to find out is actually the bad guy, and that you're going to have to fight in a climactic battle. There's ghosts, spirits that you can listen to. There's hacking some machines. There's developing
a character named Atlas, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, there's a AI named Atlas, but it's pretty inconsequential.
I see.
But yeah, it's a lot of the same team. It's basically BioShock 10 years previous. I still can play it again.
It's always surprising. Like I'm really shocked that they haven't just gone System Shock 2 HD remix kind of thing.
I know,
because I've never played it, and I want to.
Been pretty open that he doesn't own that game in any capacity.
But I think EA has it or something.
And just
why no one would use it now? Like, put it out. I want to play it, but I don't have.
Reading that LucasArts book, no one negotiated how much you get off of this being released forever, and all these people feel, rightly so, entitled to a certain amount of money if you keep re-releasing games. All that has to be renegotiated, which requires lawyers just to renegotiate. It costs money just to renegotiate how much money you'll get for doing nothing.
The shame of it too is that game, I looked forward to it very highly. I bought it when it first came out. It sold very, very poorly.
Did it?
Yeah, and now, I mean, you go look at any PC Gamer top 100, it's going to be in the top 10, guaranteed.
Warped me. You're one of my best friends, and every time I even, what's your favorite game? And you usually say System Shock 2. As many fucking fighting games as you play.
I would love to see like a System Shock 1 or 2 on the DS. Just because I've seen that it can do those kind of low-res 3D shooters.
Yeah, Metroid Prime Hunters works great.
Yeah. I mean, it would work great with something like that. Touchscreens, like little mini hacking games.
You're talking about Moon today. You liked Moon?
I like Moon all right. Like it's like a 7.5 at best.
What did you tell me it looked like?
Oh, it looked like it was like a Brockheimer Films production of like Batman and Robin, the 3D in FPS.
Such a beautiful assertion. It looks like a Batman and Robin game.
It's because like everything is
half
like
neon and impossible colors that no one would design anything in.
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
a lot of green and red and like
and like fucking neon genomes flying through.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's tons of those like little terminals that are like on the Borg cube where it's just like a circle that's just got a bunch of like little like electric lines running through it. There's like tons of those. It's gaudy. It's kind of hard to look at, but
I didn't
something
enjoy
about it. But I did get a DSi XL, and so everything on the DS is cooler and faster now to me.
You might be lying,
Tyler.
And I have to justify the $190 purchase.
Yeah, I don't. I have a lot to think about. I initially, when we talked about this question, I was like, I don't know.
What about the Oregon Trail game you helped shape?
Yeah. I did help shape the second Oregon Trail game in some small part in a focus group, but only ever played it. No, I mean, my first instinct right now is Half-Life 2. I mean, how could you have a bigger sequel than that? It's like not
really
just
close.
was it a sequel to a great game, it became in its own right one of the most influential games ever. But I also really loved Quake 2, and I think there's some dispute we've had over which is better, Quake 2, Quake 3. Does Quake 3 draw off of Quake more? Like, I don't see that. But
I just feel like Quake 2 is kind of like... Quake 2 is more akin to Quake 4, and both have been kind of considered the bastards of the series.
I don't know. That's weird.
Like, no one likes Quake 4. And and not a whole lot of people like Quake 2, but a lot of people love Quake 1 and Quake 3. And people still play Quake 3 live.
You said yourself that 1 and 3 are almost like sort of the same, just one has a better multiplayer infrastructure.
I thought 3 was only multiplayer.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, you've got bots, but there's no story.
Quake 1 they re-released in they had a Half-Life pack that had I think it had like Counter-Strike and Half-Life Death. It's called Classic DM, and it was all it was Quake 1. It was just Quake 1 in the Half-Life engine. The same weapons. They had the nail gun, had the rocket launcher, and it was just like they were like they had realized how perfect that level of just deathmatch, that very basic deathmatch is.
It might be when Quake 2 was around that has influenced me to love it so much because it was the same time we got DSL.
Yeah.
And I started failing classes because I just played Quake 2. I'm like, oh my god, Quake 2 CTF. I come home, and at some point my mom tells me to eat dinner, and then I go back to playing this, and then Action Quake 2 mods are so fun. And I would go nuts on all the mods, and I had to have the latest.
Yeah, that's how it was with Doom. I played all the mods. I played as much dialing with my 14.4 modem. And just like
no, like when I got DSL, I was just like, this is I'm always connected. It's so easy, and I can just play online all night.
And that's a good distinction too, because that was the same for me with Quake 3. Just we got being in Tallahassee, Florida, we got our stuff a little bit later, I think, than other people. And right when that came out was like late '99, early '99.
DSL.
Yeah, we got DSL in my downstairs basement, and we had LAN parties 24/7.
I guess that Quake 2 was the first game I played extensively online. After that, it would have been Half-Life, Counter-Strike. But first, for me, it was Quake 2, especially CTF. And the argument I always make against Quake 3, why I didn't like it, is I just felt like it really lacked any charm to me. Everything looked really like the graphics were better, yes, but they just looked so smooth and like Vaseline-y, and like I liked the rigidness of Quake 2's environments and the pixely railgun shots with the bloop, just like
the corkscrew, what was that? The eraser rail.
Yeah, but it's like a pixel corkscrew, and the blood is bred pixels. It's just I kind of loved that. That made me happy. And I guess it was just nostalgia at that point, but I felt like Quake 3 just looked too smooth, like someone had taken it and just taken a piece of clay and just smoothed it until it was all shiny and soulless.
Yeah, part of it for me is also that it's just like it's the pure death match. It's like it's almost like a sport or something. It doesn't have any charm. It's just like you can play the same maps. I generally actually, when I play it, just to make it like a little more contrast, you can see the character sticking out, I play with all the textures off. So it's just like gray walls, red walls. It's like it doesn't matter to me because I'm just trying to kill people.
Yeah.
And so there's no charm to it. So I can definitely agree with you there.
Someone should make an extremely abstract shooter that's just purely about
the South Park FPS for N64 kind of did that.
But let's get into some phone calls.
Yeah, let us know in the forums, GamesRadar.com/forums. Question of the week. Let us know.
All right, we're gonna get some phone calls. Time to switch place, Alston.
Yeah, really quick. Let's do this.
Look at them run! Using the internet. Dude, in China, they fucking made lights that are fucking networked. Like, the LEDs flash, and then shit picks that up, and they can send data from the ceiling lights, so you can just have, like, this all-consuming network inside of a building. It's pretty cool. I mean, obviously you can do that with Wi-Fi, but it's more fun to say that the lights do it.
Oh, Elson's got the board.
I've got the board now. You all have to listen to me now. So, phone calls. Every week we place phone calls. 1-877-404-1337 is the phone number. Extension 327.
Extension is Leet.
It's Leet Dar.
It's Leet. It's somehow confusing.
It was open. How could you not take that?
All right, so first, again, I'm now pulling them random because we had such a backlog. I'm just trying to pull them at random, so I don't listen to them ahead of time. I don't know what any of these are going to be.
Wait, they might have swears.
They might have swears in them.
But they're newish.
So, well, I'm trying to still go back.
Okay.
So this one's from April 30th.
Okay.
I'll tell you the dates too. So this one's April 30th.
Hello there, esteemed hosts of TalkRadar.
Oh,
it is I, Sarcastic Irony, calling in once again. Just wanted to know what your favorite moments recording in TalkRadar are, and if you can't think of any, which I very highly doubt, what have your favorite moments been as a games journalist?
Big question. Maybe more. We're running really late at this point, but
that is a big question.
My favorite recording, obviously, 20 was a ton of fun because we were all on top, but we were all enjoying. But Dan's roast was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And that's TalkRadar 80.
It's a great way to send off. In Shane, Paul, and Dan's case, people who are great friends, and we got to share a good, we wouldn't have put together a goodbye if there weren't people listening, but we also got to share our goodbye with everybody listening. And there's some weird magic to that.
It was magical.
Those were fun.
I really enjoyed TalkRadar because I've always wanted to be a Jew.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I got to be a Jew for a little while.
I will say, as a games journalologist, having Disney get me drunk to the point where I puke is definitely up there. Like, just hammered in the Walt Disney Museum, a museum I had paid $30 to get into before I went there. Got in free, hammered. Yeah, go walk around. Walt shit is in there. Peace.
Yeah. And then having a drunk ass you talk to me and who was it, Charlie? Like this was first used in this short of the 50s. It was from. Did you ever see this movie? No, Chris.
That's the Alice shorts. The Uber, the Playing Crazy is the first Mickey cartoon. Steve-O Willie's the first Sound cartoon. That's why it gets confused. The first Mickey cartoon.
Just the whole time. Imagine
Chris really rarely gets sloppy drunk.
Yeah, that night, holy fuck.
Yeah,
one of my
that was the one that ended with like you texting me. We're in a limo. Like I don't know what.
One of my favorite times was it was a rock band party and we got pretty silly drunk.
That was after.
That was after the Disney Museum.
Yeah,
It just
exactly.
kept going. It was GDC.
Oh, right, that was. And so, completely wasted. I knew you were drunk when you started talking philosophically.
Oh no.
Why would you want immortality? Who would want that?
The sad thing is that was probably like unprovoked. We walked outside. You want to catch a cab? Why would you want to live forever?
and then you just see it's like a black unmarked town car and goes, "We're taking this one. We're just getting there." And I'm like, dude, that's not legit. That's not legal. Like they'll try.
I remember you telling me that was the drunkest you've ever seen me. You told me that to my face while we were on the way home.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not. Well, yes and no, but I'm just swallowing spit so I don't throw up on my knees.
Yeah, you were very quiet, and I know that sort of quietness means.
And this man knows me drunk.
Yeah, I've only seen it like anything close to what they're describing like once in like 15 years.
See, I used to be a good drinker. This guy, horrible. One of my worst memories is you had just gotten in a car accident and like. Sounds so stupid because I'm driving around hammered in a Volvo station wagon. It's fortified,
safe. Really safe.
It's fortified, and he wants to put on his seatbelt. So I wouldn't let him put on his seatbelt. So I held it while I drove with one hand.
and it's the side of the arm that was broken in the car crash. So I'm like reaching over, trying to grasp the clasp, and he can hold me back with one hand whilst driving because I'm a one-armed.
And I'm laughing and. Just a total asshole friend. The wheel catches the side of the road. A Volvo station wagon, which is pretty much, what would you call it, like a Tetris 4-line block, spins around, and then we're in a ditch, and I just turn it like that. And I wish this wasn't radio, to turn around and look at him, and the look he gave me is, you motherfucker. You goddamn mother... The look on his face, like... Do you realize everything you've just done? You almost killed us trying to make fun of me for almost being killed.
Well, that was good times.
Next question. Next phone call. This one's from May 9th.
Oh, I gotta say, my favorite time was the time I was on.
Aww.
That would be your favorite time.
This is from May what?
This one's from May 9th.
Oh.
Hi, this is Banana Man from the forum.
Hi.
I'd like to wish you a happy 100th episode.
A little late. That's okay.
100 episodes already come. 6 hours long. Oh, shit. Well, happy 101st. Hope for another 101. Thanks. Love the show. Bye.
That is doubtful. But your optimism is acknowledged.
Here's one from May 23rd.
Oh, Jesus.
That's pretty reasonable.
All right.
Pretty recent. So I'm guessing this one failed. I know that guy.
Thank you, Blanca. I always like it when Blanca
I had
calls
that
in.
a little too loud, so let me do it again. There you go. All right, this one's from May 26th. Getting closer.
Hey, TalkRadar. It's Phase on 117.
Hey.
I just called to know what do you guys think about Green Day Rock Band? Whether it be the somewhat mediocre set list or the somewhat disappointing graphics, in my opinion. Never playing the game. I don't think it seems too good. What do you guys think?
I think he brings up a good point, and no one mentions that Rock Band's graphics are officially dated now.
Yeah, they're pretty...
And they were always better than Guitar Hero.
Yeah, they still look like 2006 graphics.
Yeah, I think
2007.
trying to accurately model living people.
Yeah. Unless you're going to go like a Mass Effect level of detail,
Yeah.
it's going to look kind of silly. I mean, I'm a huge Green Day fan, but I like the older the better. And with no kerplunk and no 39 smooth tracks, I don't. That bothers
It's sort
me.
of unacceptable,
That
especially in a
really
game that's
bothers
supposed to
me.
celebrate who
the
they
whole
are.
career, and it's like you left out my favorite 2 fucking albums.
And I like that they say, it's all of Dookie and all of this, and like that's great.
Yeah, it's nice that Dookie's in there.
That's great for a majority of their fans. I understand that.
Yeah.
and
But it is also the same
It's
thing. Like
very-
I am
very
kind of over it. Like I really like still playing it in a group, but we haven't played it in a group in the office for over a year.
It's not an issue of over. I just can't believe what that means to me is that those songs were a problem licensing.
Yeah.
Or maybe getting the hold of the masters.
Yeah.
That's probably.
And
what it is.
I don't like that they're not there, and they'll never come in DLC. But I mean, the demo is out now on Xbox Live and PlayStation, and it's Welcome to Paradise from Dookie and Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Just wonderful.
From American Idiot, and yeah, if you
Not
like
bad.
American Idiot, Dookie, and 21st Century Breakdown, then yeah, you'll probably enjoy the game just fine. I think Trey Cool's a fun drummer, and the bass from Mike Dern is going to be really good. So I think it'll be a fun game to play. But I mean, you know, if you don't like Green Day, then whatever. But I definitely want to play it. But
how's the guitar from Billy Corgan?
Corgan is from Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, my mistake. Please, no, next.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a little let down, but I
Just feel
still
noise.
I still think I'll have fun with it, even though I'm a little let down. And finally, from this week, this one's from May 26th as well.
Hey, TalkRadar, this is Brandon Leet from the forums. I was just wondering, with the release
Shout for
of
that Phantom Bullet.
Mega Man Zero Collection coming up,
Oh.
what classic or not so classic game series would you like to see re-released in the compilation?
No shit, Adventure Island.
Oh, Adventure Island. would be
Adventure
great.
Island, because none of those games are worth anything on their own.
No, yeah, and for me, Wizards and Warriors.
Oh fuck yeah!
1, 2, 3, and even X for Game Boy. Fantastic soundtracks.
Well, we're appealing to Brett. Ninja Gaiden, maybe the first 3.
Ninja Gaiden trilogies for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I know.
That's also 20 years old.
I know, but what if they tossed it? What if they tossed it online or something?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, that would be great. I love the original 3. Well, 1 and 2.
I'm going to say Bolo. But,
Bolo?
That's just because you guys keep acting like that. I mentioned it once, and everyone keeps reminding me.
Oh, dude, but
shut up.
You very rarely profess enthusiasm for anything.
Yeah.
And the
No.
way your eyes lit up over Bolo, it was like
Bolo.
2 pieces of a Bolo. I have no
It's
metaphor.
like 2 pieces of a bolo tying around it.
There you go.
I would love to see like a Capcom Disney collection.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like some DuckTales, some Chippendales, even like the crappy like Mickey Mousecapade that's impossible.
Yeah.
Seeing those $10.
The thing is, we all have such fond memories for those 2 games. Did anyone what about right after? Like Adventures in the Magic Kingdom was okay.
I love that game, and I know
it's not
my
great.
own problem.
But it's one of those things you're willing to tolerate because you're a kid and you like
DuckTales
Disney.
1 and 2,
Yeah.
Chippendales 1 and 2.
I never played
Little
DuckTales
Mermaid
2.
is not bad. Tailspin is pretty great.
I remember
Darkwing
liking
Duck.
Darkwing Duck
was
is
good.
fine.
Yeah,
It's the
that was
Mega Man
good.
5 engine, and I can't believe I'm saying those words. I broke my pen.
Throw it. All right, so that was your phone calls. Once again, I'm just going to start playing them at random, and that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
I was happy with that. But yeah,
Yeah.
keep calling 1-877-404-1337.
Totally.
Extension 327. I'm going to keep trying to play some every week and get through the backlog, but keep them coming. I try to pull like some from the beginning, some from the middle, some from way back in March when we started this thing. But yeah, and then you're giving away the t-shirt in gamesradar.com/forums. Question of the week is in the forums. I would like to please keep commenting on Game Music of the Day. It makes me very happy to see when people are responding and enjoying. I don't know. It always feels like I'm extending too far into nerdidity, and it's way too obscure.
It's just so short, and usually the Game Music of the Day, since let's be honest, none of us know that much about the creation of the soundtrack. It's usually a jumping off point to some weird, personal or something we couldn't put in another article about gaming in general.
Right.
That's what it's been for me anyway. I think it's a great writing exercise.
It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I gotta say I love it. Everything that you put up there so far, I've been like, yes,
Yeah.
and I haven't commented, and you know, for people like me,
for shame.
comment.
For
Yeah,
shame.
I'm going to next time.
He's Spicules on there. You follow him. I spit all over your computer.
Any other teases for things going on next week? I put up a thing about colored game cartridges. If you want to look at that,
we don't call them that anymore.
I know that's what it seems racist, but it's you know how games used to all be gray cartridges from Nintendo, and then they'd put out hey, Doom is red. So I did a compilation of I think every one of them.
It used to be when they were like not really legally licensed.
Usually, the NES ones was usually not licensed, but then like
he's thinking about Maximum Carnage.
Maximum Carnage was red, Doom was red, and Killer Instinct was black.
Yeah,
for Super Nintendo, and then N64 just went crazy because the system was crappy. So,
all right, I'm going to let one of my best friends in the whole world, Spicules, MB. What song are we going to go out on?
I'd love to hear some Power Glove: The Decisive Battle,
which is an overclocked remix
of what? Of what?
Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 6/3 here. Battle music.
Music. It's great music. The original is for sure.
It's a kind of cock rock metal ballad version of that.
I love the Power Glove. People have been requesting that forever.
You lose.
Thank you.
Good day, sir.